Happy Wednesday! Welcome to another Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 live stream. Welcome to the home of Delta Airlines, Atlanta, Georgia, also known as Hotlanta, and the home of the rival to Pepsi, Coca-Cola. I, personally, am a Pepsi drinker, so Atlanta can just go right to hell. I have no idea where Pepsi's even created. Probably of some lab in the Mojave Desert or something. That's how terrible it is for you. Got a Southwest pushing back there. There's a couple of airlines that kind of come in and out of Hotlanta. But this is obviously Delta Territory 101 here. And this is the, I think it was recently released, the Atlanta Airport for Flight Sim 2024. I'm impressed. It's actually really good. I recently bought it. I've been using the default Atlanta for a very long time. I know there was there's an Atlanta for 2020, but it has some conflicts with 2024, and this one seems to work fairly well. So, as you may have guessed, I have made the jump. Made the jump in APL from United Airlines over to Delta Airlines. It's a very hard decision. It was a super, super hard decision because I really was very fond of United, but I also was getting really tired of the same flights over and over. And as I've talked about many, many of times, I tend to do shorter hops, which leaves maybe, 30 to 50 different hops that one can complete. And I just got really bored of that. So I figured, what the hell, we'll go to Atlanta. Before I even did Delta, though, I went ahead and I bought this Atlanta add-on just to make sure that it was good and stable, because I figured I'd be flying out of Atlanta quite a bit. And this also brings us down south to Florida, which I haven't been able to fly in Florida for a while because United doesn't really fly there. So it's nice to be able to be down in Florida. I've done a flight already. So I've done a lot of flights already with Delta. I've already completed my goal for the week. I did the 5 flights instead of 10. I did 5. I should have done 10 for the first week, but whatever. P2, welcome on in. Hide your mother, hide your sisters. The hottest sim pilot is in town. I don't know about that, but thanks. TJ, welcome in. Toronto, today is, what, today Toronto is Horonto? Ho Toronto? What is Ho Toronto? I used to be a Delta frequent flyer. I guess I would kind of technically, if you consider that Northwest merged with them, I guess I would technically, quote unquote, have been a frequent flyer because I did fly with Northwest Airlines quite a bit. When you lived, you lived in Atlanta? I didn't know that. I thought Atlanta had a it does have a handcrafted, and it's not bad. But this, obviously, any third party, for the most part, is going to be better than any handcrafted one that Asopa works on. Again, it's not bad. For being free, it's really, really good. But I wanted something that was a little bit better, and this one, it's like $13 or something. So, the way I see it, just like I do with the planes, if I do at least 13 flights out of Atlanta, that's $1 a flight. It's worth it, right? For me, it's $1 a flight. So, in that aspect, it's well worth the cost. It was a wordplay with hot. Oh, I got you. This, where did I get this from? Contrail? I think it was Contrail. I bought it on Monday or Sunday or Monday. I can't remember, one of those 2 days. I think it was Sunday. Lived in Atlanta for 3 years. For a long time, that city was the only place in the U.S. I could navigate without GPS. Really? I drove through Atlanta on our way to Orlando one day. Let's see, well, that's incorrect. I've also stopped off for a layover in Atlanta one time as well, but we just kind of skirted through downtown. It looked beautiful. Looked really, really nice. So we had some big, exciting news from Beyondatc the other day. I'm super excited. We'll likely see Supporters Edition, Experimental Edition, whatever they call it, available sometime in the near future with some pretty exciting things. CPDLC, VFR down the road. Some more bug fixes, traffic overhaul. So a lot of really cool things as we see. Looks like a CRJ from the distance there, flying out of Hotlanta. So let's see, what else we have in other news. I mentioned this in Discord, but kind of slightly mentioned in Discord. I've talked about how my screen has been weird, right? I'm displaying 116 FPS, but it looks like it's like 60 FPS, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, apparently it seemed to be an issue with the monitor itself. It seemed to be an issue with the monitor itself, so it's being RMA'd. So I don't have my OLED monitor right now, as that's being RMA'd, and I'm using a little tiny small monitor as my second screen. So that's what's I'm using right now for APL and OBS, chat, Beyondatc, etc. So I think that's all been solved now. Once I get that new monitor, we'll do a complete test to see how it goes, but I'm excited to see how that all flies out. I learned driving on 285 and I didn't die. When people complain about crazy drivers in Toronto, I laugh at them. I say the craziest drivers, well, welcome in. The craziest drivers are in Chicago. Just psychos out here. And I remember the first time I ever drove on the interstate in Chicago, like as an adult driving myself. And I was going to work. Okay, I was going into the heart of Chicago, right down by Midway is where I used to work. And, so the sign is 50. The interstate's 50. And I'm driving 50. And I'm in the right lane. Okay, that's at least America. And all these cars are on the left lane, and they're going like 70 miles an hour. Some of them going 80. And I'm like, oh, you're all going to get a ticket at some point. Well, then I see a cop. I'm like, all right, he's about to get them all. And this cop's going 70 as well. He's just following traffic. And I realized at that point, well, I guess you just follow traffic in Chicago. If it says 50, you just do what everyone else is doing. If they're all doing 70, you do 70. So it's wild to think that. I love how Beyondatc goes head down and only updates us when they have new features, unlike the other one that has announcements that actually, yeah. Interesting story on that P2. So I also follow, other Discords, and there was an individual from another Discord. I don't want to say names, because if you're in that Discord, you know who I'm referring to, maybe. But they were talking about recently trying, say, intentions Beyondatc, since it's been a while, to see how they were, and they said Beyondatc performed better for them, and that traffic was more consistent for them. And and I've said it before, and I will always state this, that I feel that if, say, intentions actually focused on the core product, which is ATC, right? You say your intentions. If they focus on the core product, it would probably it could potentially put Beyondatc out of business. Because having the algorithm with AI figuring out flights and following your flight path, all that kind of jazz, is pretty impressive. The problem is they don't focus enough on that core product, which means the core product gets put second place, and then they come up with all this new crap to get you to want to buy their product. So it is rather interesting. But it was cool to see another person's point of view saying Beyondatc was the winner in their book. They also saw better traffic with Beyondatc, which makes sense because SI is in early access, so I don't want to, throw too much shade at them for that aspect. But like even when I came over from SI, like the improvement I saw with ATC was substantial. Now recently we've made complaints. Oh, what's going to happen here? Watch it. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, he's stopping. Look at that. That's so cool. That is so cool. I'm telling you, it's stuff like that when you watch it live, you're like, holy cow, this is cool. This is amazing. I thought they were going to crash. I thought for sure they're going to crash. But like, yeah, so I still, now to this day, Beyondatc, of course, has had some issues recently with some of the vectoring and all that jazz, but I feel like it's made a lot of improvement since I've come over to it last summer. And, when they do, the next bug fixes, overhaul patch and all that jazz, I think we're going to see an even bigger change. And for those who have experienced some of the issues, remember this. Remember this, that they did go LLM. And this was not that terribly long ago. And LLM can cause some complex issues, right? So we may be experiencing those issues as well as they're ironing out some of that stuff going forward. So again, I still say it is probably the best one to go with today, and will probably be that way because the other product just doesn't care enough about its base product. They will get banned on SI in Discord the moment they join it. SI doesn't focus. They have 7 apps. Yeah, correct. And half of them work. Irishman, welcome in. Welcome in. What you say is the best HT if you're trying to get started with ATC? I already know how to fly arrivals and departures. So I would say there are 2 best ones to go with starting right away. And that is either Beyond ATC or FS HUD. Now realize the following, which is FS HUD doesn't have any premium voices, which means the voices you get, they're kind of like the old school robotic AI voices, you know, on computers and whatnot, but better. They're not as bad as that, substantially better than that, but they're very generic, but they serve the purpose, right? And you can hear different accents with it and that kind of stuff. But they do get repetitive, and they are pretty basic when it comes to voices. But they're only like $35. It's a one-time purchase, $35. Beyond ATC is also a one-time purchase of like $30. And you have the option to get the premium voices, which you'll hear today on the stream. I use the premium voices for ATC, and I use the AI voices, the basic voices, for the pilots. So that saves me credits, and typically I can get through $10 worth of credits throughout the month, you know, and that's doing 30 plus flights per month. So typically, and obviously your mileage is going to vary quite a bit with all that stuff, right? The amount of traffic you have, the longer the routes, you know, the shorter the routes, all that stuff's going to play a pretty big factor. Time of day you fly, in terms of using those premium voices. So keep that in mind as well. Money-based company, and they are desperate. Yeah, and that was also another comment that individual made, which was, it was something to the effect of something like they said, once you get past all the sponsored bull crap, you can see just how terrible the product is. It was something along those lines, not for quote word for word on that, but you know, something along those lines. And it was like, whoa, I liked it. I liked it. Look at the storm cell. Yeah, this is nasty weather here in Atlanta. Kind of looks like a hurricane, like in the eye of the hurricane here in the middle. Do you use basic or premium voices for the first officer in Beyond ATC? First officer, I use the basic voices. Just the basic. I use the UK female. I like the accent. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, so today's first flight, if we get the second flight, and we'll see what happens, but today's first flight, I did have to delay the flight, the stream 15 minutes because I generated my schedule with Delta yesterday, my new set of flights, but I forgot to hit accept. So I went ahead and I found all my sceneries, and I popped them in there, and then this morning when I went in, PTO BRB, cool. When I went to you look at the flights, I didn't have them saved, so I had to regenerate a new flight and then verify I had all the sceneries for that schedule. I didn't have to do all the flights. I could have just done the first 2, but you know, it's me, and I had to make sure it's all right. Okay, so today's the first flight we're going to do is the PMDG, not the PMDG, the iFly 737 Max. Flight number 2 I'm thinking of doing is a 319. It's a 319. So we'll kind of see what happens. Let's jump into the cockpit here of this beautiful iFly 737 Max. By the way, I'm on a record streak, not a record streak. I'm on a pretty nice streak of, I think it's 7 or 8 100% flights with APL. I'm doing PHI to Atlanta, Delta 321 right now. Oh, very nice. PBI. What is PBI? What is PBI? Now I'm curious. KPBI. Oh, Palm Spring or Palm Beach. Oh, nice, very nice. So they look familiar. I just haven't. Some of them I'll sit there and just like have to look at it a couple different times to figure it all out. The basic voices for non-native English speakers, Middle East, India is terrible. Oh, really? Ugh. Well, hopefully they'll get that updated at some point. At some point. All right, first up, let's go over here to the left. And just noticed a lot of in-build scenery updates for things I've purchased. Is that in-build sale still going on? I'll have to see if that sale's still going on. Kevin was asking in Discord if I could post my community folder. My response was that all it is a bunch of folders of all my money that I no longer have. You know, think about the hundreds and hundreds of dollars you might have spent on sceneries. You know, I probably have a lot of mine, though, I bought on sale. I probably have... I would say 2 to 250. If I had to just pull the number out of my butt. 2 to 250 in scenery. Add-ons. I would say that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so we got APU rolling. Let's go over here to the side. Menu performance. We're going to go to weight and balances. We're going to bring up our briefing panel. And with our briefing panel, we're going to hit fetch. Go to payload, and we have 165 passengers on board this morning. We are heading to Armstrong. I forgot about saying. I forgot to put that in there. I'll get the Volanta updated here momentarily. Okay, so we have 5775. So that's, what's the math on that? Oh my gosh. Let's see, 25, 2850. Let's do 20. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, that sounds right. 2850. And fuel is going to be fuel 12,270. Trip fuel is taxi fuel is 420 as always, and trip is 6019. All right, let's check our zero fuel weight. 137.7, or sorry, 137.3, 137.2, pretty close. Set, and complete. Grand. Let's go on down here to FMC, position, next, GPS, drop it in. For some reason, I've been forgetting to get the IRSs aligned. Let's see. So I can skip the first hop in the nose of the Boeing because it's on life support. How'd you get the Delta delivery for the iFly? Yeah, so I know technically the Mac, Delta doesn't fly the Max, but I got it from flightsim.to. Flightsim.to. Okay, runway 8 right. And we are Delta DAL. Delta, what are we number? 3157. Activate, execute. I love that you can click this now. I love that they brought that back. It's a fantastic feature. 2.1. I understand what they were trying to change, but the community spoke. And you know what? iFly listened. iFly listened to the community. Who would have thought? A developer listening to the community. It just shows you any developer that listens to the community deserves your money. Deserves your money. You know, SWS is another one of those companies that listens to the consumer. I've said it before with like the Kodiak, the PC-12. You know, they made the changes because the community spoke out and said, hey, I don't like the way this plane flies. I know you're trying to get real numbers, but we also want to have fun in the plane. And they listened. It's fantastic. That's how it should be. 29, ILS 29 is our expected arrival. And via the Monster one, I think it's Monster. Monster? I think it's Monster. Monster SJI. Execute. All right, go up top here. We go to APU is on. Let's get our fuel pumps pumping. Yaw dampering. Pumps are going on there. All good, grand, beautiful. Let's go over here to the side so I don't forget. System page, disco, the electric. And I think we're grand. Let's get ATC going next. So let's go ahead and dial into the ATC. 118 and a 1. Hotlanta. Atlanta clearance. A very good morning from Delta 3157. We are ready for IFR clearance to New Orleans.
Delta 3157, Atlanta clearance information, Delta correct, cleared to Armstrong, New Orleans. Pounds 2 departure, Gurgia transition, then is filed. Maintain 5,000 feet. Departure frequency 1, tree 3.475, squawk 6210.
You're Delta. That's just a coincidence.
Cleared to
6210.
Pounds 2 departure, Gurgia transition, then is filed.
Information Delta is correct.
5,000 feet. Departure frequency
5,000.
3.475. Squawk 6210. Delta 3157.
Flight directors are on.
Delta 3157,
Pushback tool.
readback correct. Contact ground 121.9 when ready for push or start.
I love how everyone went Airbus on the poll. I haven't even checked the poll this morning. I got rid of my retro KLM livery for the 319. Gives all sort of strange behaviors. Really? Atlanta ground, Delta 3157, ready for pushback and engine start. Get a runway change, 26 left.
Delta 2906 Heavy, Gate Bravo 6 taxi by a Bravo Tree, Bravo Hotel, ramp 2E.
Gate Bravo 6 via Bravo 3, Bravo.
Alright, 26 left for a runway change. That's great. Let's go over here. 26 left. That should all stay the same. Alright, facing north.
Pushback approved. Face north, Delta 3157.
Also, surprisingly, the pushback planner dude here actually works with this plane. I mean, with this airport. So I can actually see the thing. This is very rare that a third-party scenery works with it. Okay, so parking brake is released. Good. Checked. Pushing back. Engine starting next. Let's go to APU bleed on. Ground power. Both engines. Or sorry, engine engine number 2 is switched on. Both engines. Alright, clock is the clocking. I'm going to watch our NGs here. I'm going to bring down our RTO. 210. I like to do on the speeder. And looking good. Looking good. CPDLC. CPDLC. Jesus. I can't wait for it. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. That's what I really wish. I wonder what took more time. GSX or CPDLC to integrate. Because if CPDLC was fairly quick, then, you know, they should have just popped that out real quick. Get it done over with. I'm also having fun with the new A300 that Aer Lingus is going to fill its fleet with. A300? Really? Really? Alright, engine number is a Delta holding short, I think. Heard the click, so let's go to engine number 1. Gens 2. And rotation on this one.
Over to tower 125.325, Delta 2346 Heavy.
And rotation. Posted Discord, okay. A300. I didn't know that was even going to be a thing. That's interesting. I'm very curious about that. And rotation is rotating. Engine number 2. Or sorry, engine number 1. Flaps coming down to 5. Does the Delta livery for the iFly have to say 20? No. So yeah, it will say not compatible with 2024, but it does work with 2024. Yep, sure does. Sure does. Yeah, I had that same question too. I popped it in and see what happens, and I'm not seeing any weird issues. It looks beautiful. No weird issues. Looks so beautiful. Atlanta ground, Delta 3157, ready to taxi to the active. See how fast I talked?
Delta 3157, 3157, runway 26 left taxi via ramp 2E, Foxtrot 2 Echo.
Foxtrot 2 Echo.
Alright, we'll taxi to runway 26 left via ramp 2E, Foxtrot 2,
where's this
Echo
guy going?
Delta 3157.
Yo, bud. Better be turning.
Delta
Uh-oh.
3157, hold position for traffic. I'll call you back.
I'm holding. They're just gonna go through me, though.
Traffic, Delta 3157.
Oh, boy, do we have a problem here? I don't have FS traffic anymore. Or FS... I don't have, Beyondatc traffic map. Okay, well, we're just gonna go around them. We have a technical issue here. I think this might have... Oh, jeez. I think it might have been because I was rolling. They might be going there. And I was rolling a little too much. Unless they want to pay chicken. I suppose we can play chicken, too. I use the FS traffic. I use FS traffic. Do I have... Taxi lights are on. Both continuous, continuous, off, auto, auto. Gen's on, APU off. Okay, now we're cooking. Foxtrot 2 Echo. Why did your cabin announcements did not work, Lex? They're on now,
Taxi, Delta
and I don't hear them.
3157.
It like works and doesn't work. I have it. I turned it on. It sure is on, but it's not doing anything. The app will consistently freeze on me too. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure. When it works, it's really cool, but obviously we're not hearing any announcements, so it's not currently working. It's free, so you can't complain. Like I said, when it does work, it's really cool. I also can only get the default I can only get the default announcements to work. I can't get the I can't get my like Delta announcements to work, or United or anything. I can't get them to show up in the program. Like they work in the FENIX without issues, but in that what's it called? FS announcements, whatever it's called. I can't get it to work. Yeah, the announcements work just fine for the FENIX. No issues with the FENIX. And I got it working with oh, the sound file. Yeah, the sound files work just fine for the FENIX. Absolutely. Yeah. I have zero issues with that. Just drop it in the folder. Yeah, no, that's all fine. That's another thing that's really sad. If anyone has a master copy list of like all the announcements, I had one a while back ago, and I can't. Someone from 757 Spy made it, but the link doesn't work anymore. I found the link, but it doesn't work anymore. So if anyone has a master list of all of it, like they can zip a folder and send me a file, send me a DM with the link. Much appreciated. I did download a couple from the Discord, but I also am too lazy to go through every single airport or every single airline I had, which was most of them. You know, most of the common ones, at least for the 320. Volanta's the next thing I gotta go on. Alright, so let me get that rolling next. So let's get Volanta. Where the hell's Volanta? Oh, that's kind of broken still. Okay, I'll fix that eventually. Alright, no Volanta today. I don't have, I gotta edit it, because I did my computer format on Saturday night, and I still haven't done that yet. I can do it during flight, I suppose. Alright, we're going down to Echo 3. I'll do it during cruise. I'll get it working during cruise. The one thing I dislike about this Atlanta is that the grass is all 2D. You see it's just green, it doesn't have actually the grass texture. So hopefully that's going to get updated at some point. Because while the airport looks really, really nice, there's these issues. There's just this issue I really hate. Not being able to see the grass. That was a big thing with Flight Sim 2024 is grass, right? Can you poll about the BFU coming out this Or next month? Oh boy, I bet you it's next month. I don't expect it this month. FENIX is really good about really quiet, or about being really quiet and then just dropping something. That's not a bad idea. I'll do it during the flight, during the cruise here. Got like an hour cruise. All right, going down to Echo.
Delta 3157, contact Atlanta Tower 125.325. Have a good day.
Atlanta's what you fly out of?
125.325.
Is there a custom scenery for Atlanta? Because I need one really bad. Yeah, this one here. Who makes this? I'll check it during flight as well. Atlanta Tower, very good morning from Delta 3157. We are holding short runway 26 left, ready to go. All right, landing lights are on.
Delta 3157, Atlanta Tower, wind 105 at Niner or nav to Snoopy, runway 26 left.
Snoopy.
cleared for takeoff.
Gonna be Snoopy today.
Runway 26 left, RNAV to Snoopy, cleared for takeoff.
RNAV to Snoopy.
3157.
Let's go Snoopy. Will, dog's doing good. He's doing much better. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. I'll talk about it during the flight too. Got a lot of things to talk about during flight. I'm gonna forget about all of them. All right, lining up 26 left. That's a hell of a storm. You think there's rain up there? All right, let's bring up the throttles. Takeoff. Engines are stable. We definitely shouldn't be taking off this runway though, because the wind is a tailwind. So Beyond ATC definitely did not get that right. Rotating. And we are positive rate. Gear is coming on up. That's a really good departure. Nice, good, smooth rotation.
Delta 3157, contact
All right, LNAV, VNAV are on.
Contact Atlanta departure, Delta 3157. See ya.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. First flaps up.
Atlanta departure, Delta 3157. Good day, 2000.
Anti-skid is off.
Delta 3157,
Second flaps up.
Atlanta departure, good day, radar contact, climb and maintain 16,000.
16,000.
Climb and maintain 16,000. Delta 3157.
All right, 16,000 looking good. And full flaps up. Bring up that nose a little bit more. Range ring out a little bit. There's some nasty looking clouds here. Let's go AP so we can look on the outside. Jesus, look at that. Look at that. Holy cow. That is nasty. That's a scary storm. That's a photo too. Look at that. That is wild. Man, that's scary. Alright, coming up on 7,000. Atlanta is using runway 9 right and the side, and that side in real life, so Beyondatc was correct? Wait, hold on. Atlanta's using 9 right. Yeah, I think the side's right, but the runway is wrong. Well, at least the wind right now, it was showing it was a tailwind. What's the real, and let's see, so Navigraph's telling me it's not used, that it should have been the previous runway, which was 9 right, wasn't it? 9 right? Or 9 left? No, 9 right. I don't remember, whatever one it was. Alright, coming up on 10,000. Perfect. Landing lights are coming off. Oop. Okay, and let's just go ahead and bring up our altitude up to 3.2. That's our cruise, right? Yeah, 3.2. Okay, let me see what Atlanta this is. Atlanta, KALT. This is Imagine Sim. Imagine Sim. That was the Imagine Sim Atlanta. Okay, so next I want to get Volanta updated as well. Volanta. Volanta. Settings. Stream tool. Start overlay. Start. Did I just push the button now? Nope. Copy. Paste it.
Contact Atlanta Center
Okay.
135.0, Delta 3157, see you. Atlanta Center, Delta 3157, good day. Through 1313,700.
No, that's not working.
16,000 direct pounds.
Shows it's supposed to be working.
Delta 3157 Atlanta Center.
Oh, there we go.
Climb and maintain flight level 320.
Okay, there's Volanta.
Climb and maintain flight level 320, Delta 3157.
Alright, we're cleared up to 320. And I'm guessing we're going to go direct there, so let's just clear out this. Disco. Okay. What we're going to talk about here. Oh, the poll. We're going to do a poll. Let's see. So, poll. FENIX BFU. Are we looking at a July or August released? Start. Alright, poll up top. What do you think? July or August? For the big update from FENIX. Corey says, I love Beyondatc. It works so well with traffic injection. Yeah, absolutely. It's freaking awesome. Thanks for coming in, Corey. Garen, thanks you for coming in as well. What is Atlanta using IRL? Let's see. So, Digital ATIS says Atlanta departure is runway 8 right, 9 left. So yeah, so I think they're using the right side, like you said. It's just they have the wrong runways. And I think that's going to be fixed, though, because if you looked at the notes for Beyondatc, it did say that they were going to they're going to add in like historical weather, so that might mean they found a way to get like the in-sim weather, which will help a lot, I think, with some of the runway issues. Maybe that also means you'll be able to do like your own custom weather and have it work too. That'd be cool. So anyways, dog's doing really well. Sunday he started having, so my wife noticed when she took him out that he was having really soft stool, and we weren't sure what was going on at that point. So we just, whatever, we said, okay, it's fine, right? It's only been a couple hours and one time. Well, then she took him out again at night, and the same thing, and this time it was more watery, and took him out again Monday morning, and the same thing, but this time it was really, really watery. And then Monday morning, he vomited and continued to have diarrhea. So we made the decision Monday night to take him into the ER, and they did some basic things, but we're not quite sure what happened, if he just ate something that was bad. We think also he's a German Shepherd, and he's 11 and a half years old, so he's getting up there in age. He only has maybe a couple of years left of it, going on. And German Shepherds are very high with anxiety and anxiety. Oh, I can't say the word. So obviously we had in the U.S. the 4th of July recently, And that caused him to, to be excited. And then we had a storm here locally. We had 2 back-to-back pretty nasty storms, and he gets high anxiety from those as well. So we think it's a combination of like all of it. We think it's a combination of, 4th of July fireworks. We think it's a combination of the weather. We think it's also a combination of just, my wife's starting a new job here in a week and a half. So she's stressed out, and she's been really stressed for the last couple weeks, and animals build up on that stress or feel that stress as well. So thankfully, Imagine Sim. I think it's Imagine. Yeah, Imagine Sim. So thankfully he's shown good promise. Like yesterday, he kind of looked much like his normal self. He was sleeping most of the day. He was exhausted from the vet. He was on high alert there, and he's been on a rice and chicken diet, so very bland, basic diet to kind of relax the stomach. He's been on medication, and he was playing a little bit yesterday, which was good. And then this morning, my wife said that she took him out in the morning and before work, and he had a little bit of a stool. It was softer, but it was much better than what it had been the last couple days. So there's definitely progress, looking in the right direction. There's going to want to be a point they can't afford to tarnish the repetition. Who are we talking about? Irishman. What? I'm lost. What was I talking about? Do you think the BFU will release soon? They said a couple weeks, and it's been 4 months. Yeah. Like they said, I think iFly kind of said the same thing. I think FENIX said the same thing. I think the sim updates have been throwing about a lot of curveballs at them. We know that Asobo likes to change things and don't tell developers, and they think it's minor changes. So, think of it this way. Think about like when all the changes were made in like Grand Theft Auto, and all the unofficial mods, because there's no official mods for Grand Theft Auto, all of them were broken, and they had to find ways to fix that. That same thing happens in Flight Sim, except for the fact that Asobo welcomes third-party stuff. They welcome mods. They have a folder just for mods, and they just failed to tell developers that. So this is definitely a big shame on Asobo, and hopefully they one day realize they need to start having better communication with their developers, because that's what's going to drive your product. If all we had was the base planes and there were no mod features within the sim would not last very long. You only can fly the 320, the default 320 for so long. Right? You can only fly that Cessna for so long. Eventually you're going to get very bored. Even if the world looks beautiful and the weather's really cool, if you're doing the same thing over and over, it's going to be repetitive and boring. But mods bring that ability to, have better looking airports, have better planes, have ATC and FSFO and APL, etc. Right? So it opens up the door quite a bit. Yeah, FENIX, they just never tell. So, yeah, if I had to guess, I'm going to say next month. If I had to guess, I'd say next month. Based on what we're seeing from, like, the information for the Bluebird, 757, I think that has a while to go yet. I think the A220 has a while to go as well. So I think next month will be a good time for it to come out. They also need to be smart about not releasing a product when other big products are being released, right? And there's no like date that developers give. It seems like there's that new career mode coming out from Just Flight that they said was going to come out towards the end of the month. They give a little window, kind of like the PMDG likes to give a little window. So that one concerns me a little bit too, because like that seems to be a fairly simple. I have a feeling that's going to come out and there's going to be a bunch of bugs with it. I have this feeling. I could be wrong, but I have this feeling, and that kind of makes me nervous about trying a career mode, because what if the bug is it loses all your flights, all your data? You know what I mean? Like, I'm optimistic about it because it looks really cool, But it has to be something pretty big to tear me away from APL, because APL, obviously I have a lot of flights in it, a lot of flight hours, and APL has a lot of my time and resources. Are you able to show on screen the latest devs updates channel from the FENIX Discord? I could. Let me find it. Let me find it.
Atlanta Center, SkyWest 3689, out of flight level 255 for flight level 419er. SkyWest 3689, Atlanta Center, copy.
Oh, sorry, one sec. My wife had sent me a message. I was just looking at that message. Okay, so FENIX. The hell's my FENIX? I got way too many Discord channels. Okay, announcements. Dave's updates. Okay, so the last update was April 30th. So it's been 2.5 months. To keep everyone in the loop, BFU, as always, we're working towards feature select quality goals rather than deadlines, and have struggled with a couple of non-deteriorable items that were rightfully anticipated before being easy to achieve, but some aspects are unfortunately out of our control. Not going to go into detail further as it's not relevant, but adjust your watch to FENIX time, because we're not going to push anything or something half-baked, nor should you want to accept that. No new timeline guidelines, except we weren't too bothered but how much it protracts our internal estimate timelines by. So, pretty much Sim Update 3, you know, pretty much Sim Update. I would say Sim Update 3 put a monkey's wrench in everything, and they'll eventually get that all figured out. But I think we just gotta be patient with it, you know. Just gotta be patient with it. It'll all be fine. It'll all be grand. Fry, welcome in. Haven't seen you for a very long time. Welcome in. I was actually gonna send you a message the other day because I haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's fine. FENIX banned me from the Discord for asking about BFU. They banned you from Discord? Really? FENIX is waiting until Sim Update 3 drops for sure. Yeah, I think that's the smart way to do it. Sim Update 3 has caused some issues. You know, we know that Sim Update 3 kind of works a little bit better for the iFly. You know, the landing gear stuff will sometimes have LOD issues, so we know that that has been improved. Just busy with life, I get it. Totally get it. Well, thanks for coming in, though. I appreciate it. Glad you're doing okay. But we know that Sim Update 3 also caused some issues with some other planes. I think, didn't the 777 have some issues with Sim Update 3 at launch, and they had to do another update to fix it? Like, I think when it launched, it didn't work. When Sim Update 3 first launched, it didn't work with the 777, and then they had to do an update. I think that's how it worked out. Why can't they release BFU for 2020 and then 2024 after Sim Update 3, as BFU is for both Sims? My guess, well, I don't know. I don't know if they will have, I don't know if they're trying to branch it out together. If they're trying to make one build that works with everything, maybe. Because think about this, they don't want to have two different forks too long, right? Because then you got to keep on updating this one fork with all the new features from the other fork. So maybe they're just trying to limit the amount of development they have to do. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure how much. I don't know how much behind the scenes work has actually changed between the two sims, but obviously enough things with the API and SDK that has caused some substantial changes. How'd you get the flight track at the top of the screen? Is that part of the Beyondatc? Yeah, yep, that's part of Beyondatc, but that's only for streaming. That's only for streaming. You can't see it on your screen in the sim. Only for the stream. PT, welcome back. Oh, I forgot the destination. Thank you, PT. Let me get that fixed. Forgot the destination. We're going to KMSY. There we go. All right, that should be updated. Perfect. Do you think it's the weather radar that is delaying since the Sobo doesn't do weather radar? I don't think so, because the CRJ has weather radar now. I think the 777 has weather radar. I don't think it's that. Finally got the 4K Alienware 4K OLED. Ooh, wow. So I had bought way back, well, not way back, but sometime in the winter I bought a OLED, an Alienware OLED. It's not 4K, but an Alienware OLED, and I was blown away by the OLED, like just blown away. I was talking to Kip actually about it before I ended up buying it, because he has an Alienware OLED, and I asked him if OLED's worth it, and he's like, of course OLED's worth it. I was like, okay. And so I ended up buying it, but I found out recently that there must be something wrong with the panel, because it's giving me weird frame rate fluxing. So I have it RMA'd right now, so I'm waiting for them to get me the confirmation that my new one's being shipped out, and that I'll be sending back the old one. But Alienware has top-notch support, top-notch. This is the third item I've ever had to talk to support about, and all three got RMA'd without question. The first one was 8 years ago. It was a laptop, and the battery went bad within the first week. The second issue was my headset, my Alienware headset. The dongle stopped working, and again, within like a 5-minute conversation, they replaced the whole headset. And now recently this monitor. So top-notch support from Alienware, top-notch. OLED is 100% worth it. I've got the, yeah, that's what I have. Yep, I got the 3440 by 1440 OLED from Alienware. Freaking awesome. I remember I got it late at night and I had to work early the next morning. But either way, I stayed up long enough to test a bunch of different things, Flight Sim and Witcher and Assassin's Creed. You know, just trying it. Jedi Survivor, like I just a whole bunch of different games, and I was just blown away instantly. And then once I dialed in like all the brightnesses and whatnot, and figured out HDR, like holy smokes, it was night and day. Just bought my wife a new Dell laptop, changed from HP. Oh, very nice. Yeah, my wife, well, she had an Alienware system for a long time. It was her first ever, I think it was first ever OEM system she ever bought. And she had that for a good 5 years. Loved it. But it was getting outdated and all that jazz, and I had a bunch of spare parts. So we ended up building her, finally, after all this time, building her a custom system. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that old system. I was thinking about giving it to my brother. He's kind of getting into like the AI stuff, so he might be able to mess with it, do something with it. But it's a good system. It just needs, for like gaming, it needs a graphics card. You can use the internal stuff for the basic stuff, but hard drive and a graphics card, and it's good to go.
Delta 3157, contact Atlanta Center 120.55.
All right, looking grand. Weather's all behind us. Weather in New Orleans is pretty good. The next flight, I don't remember where the next flight is. I'll have to see. Are you using the beta release of the sim? No. I'm back on Sim Update 2. Sim Update 2. Just because we've been doing group flights on a couple Sundays, and most people are on the stable Sim 2, which makes sense. So I'll stay on Sim Update 2. Plus I did a complete system reset on Saturday, and I don't want to mess with the sim. Not like everything's stable. I don't want to mess with anything again. I think the BFU will come after Sim Update A3, which itself is yeah, I think Sim Update 3, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it releases at the end of this week or early next week. If we see it by next Tuesday, I wouldn't be surprised. They need to fix, one thing they need to fix is, I was having the issue, which is, if you click on a panel here, nothing shows up. All this stuff is empty. They need to get that fixed, and they need to get that drone thing fixed. Which is, if you hit the drone key before going into like the camera mode here, it would do some weird crap with the camera. So they need to get those two things fixed for sure. And I've yet to see any of that fixed. I've also been hearing issues that people having main threads increased over time. Kip's been having that issue live on stream, and I've seen other people report it in the forum. So that's clearly an issue. I haven't noticed it myself in the testing I've done, but it is definitely an issue. It's definitely an issue. I remember iFly mentioning Sim Update 3 will fix a few things for them. Yeah, the LOD issue was with the first big thing for the gear. That's one big thing for sure. I bought my wife a 5080 NVIDIA, and she gave it to you. I don't know why. Your wife is very lovely. A very nice wife. Don't lose her. After my failed Mobiflight experiment yesterday, I have to set up my throttles and Msfs for the max. The reverses in my 737 mod need to be mapped, and I'm not sure how to do that. Oh. Yeah, so I don't use, like, I know the Bravo comes with, you know, the reverse dedents, like the levers. I don't personally use them. One is because I think I only fixed one of the 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 4 wires that are stripped. So when I open up my Bravo, like all but like one of the wires were stripped in the Bravo, and I only got one fixed. And all I cared about was my toga. All I cared about was my toga button. I did all that work just to get toga working. I am looking pretty hard at the Moza throttle quadrant it has. I like that. I kind of like it. Really digging it. You can set your dedents however you like, and that could be very beneficial for like the CRJ and the Airbus. You know, the 320. I'm really thinking about it. I'm really considering that. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna do this setup with it. Because now that I have the FCU, the WinWing FCU, like I don't really ever use the autopilot panel on my Bravo. So I don't know. I don't use the autopilot panel at all on the Bravo. The one thing though is I need to have like my mixture and stuff. So I'd lose the mixture and the propeller. And then I also like I guess there's a few things I'd be missing. But I can always get one of those like cheaper Logitech ones for that stuff. I don't know, something to think about. Something to think about. I am family too. P2 says he's family.
Atlanta Center, Delta 3157.
Irishman says I'm going to be your long lost son. I just don't understand at this stage of 2024 why so many issues, and why many third-party developers like FENIX still view their current sim experimental. Yeah, I don't know why the FENIX is still experimental. I agree with that. The FENIX has been out almost as long as 2024 and is still in experimental. I rarely have issues with the FENIX in 2024. Rarely. And I think that's the issues I have, personally, I feel like are just issues you're going to have with technology in general. Like they're just kind of those sporadic ones that happen, right? So yeah, I rarely have issues with the FENIX. I think they can lose that experimental feature, or that experimental tag, for sure. The iFly, it hasn't been out that long, so I would say keep that on experimental for another month at least. But overall, like, my iFly experience has been top notch as well. I rarely have issues with that too. The sim is basically a beta version with Sim Update 3. This is nowhere as close to what Asobo promised us. They told us 2024 would be the next best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, Asobo overreached. For sure. You know, but at the same time, they were probably being pressured by Microsoft, right? We told everyone it would come out on November, you know, whatever. And Asobo had to crunch it to make sure it worked. You know? I think, you know, we don't know. We don't know anything for sure, but maybe Asobo was pushing back and Microsoft said no. It's coming out in November, and that's what's going to happen. Had Asobo had an extra 6 months to a year to work on it and renamed it to Flight Sim 2025 like it should have been, because it came out, you know, it came out 6 months before 2025. I don't know why they called it 2024. It should have just been called Flight Sim 2025, right? In all reality. That's what it should have been. Like, look at like sport games. Most sport games come out towards the tail end of the year, and they're called the next year. You know, the new NBA game is going to come out here, so it'd be 2026, right? And that will come out in September. They don't call it 2025. So I don't know. I thought that was really weird when they were calling it 2024. Was it supposed to come out earlier in the year and it got pushed back? And they already had all the artwork done? I don't know. All the questions. P2 has another meeting, jeez. We are all in beta. Flight Sim. Well, that's a new voice I've never heard of.
Contact Atlanta Center 118.55.
That was an interesting voice.
3157. Atlanta Center, Delta 3157, flight level 320.
Delta 3157, Atlanta Center, roger.
Let's see. In the books, it was planned as 2025, and they pushed them. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where the thought process is with all of it. I really don't. I think the biggest thing is, for the most part, the sim is stable. You know, at least for me. But, like, again, talked about it before, but hardware is a big deal. Hardware is a very big deal. You're going to have all sorts of different, you know, GPUs and CPUs and memory and versions of Windows, and you know, you get a Steam version, you get a Microsoft Store version that could play a factor in it. So you get different monitors, different refresh rates, different peripherals. So there are a billion different things you have to try to juggle to make it a stable platform. And I think what they should have done is not said, you know, that everything was going to be, or, you know, the majority of things are going to be compatible. I think they should have just left that out of the PR. I think when that question came up, they should have been, you know, next question. do what politics do, right? Next question. Just skip over it, you know, or say, you know, we'll look into it. We'll look into it. Just keep saying it. Take a line from the governments. I think that was a big mistake on their part, and I think they might have learned their lesson. Hopefully, they learned their lesson going forward, and they won't make that same mistake with the next sim. You know, 2028, 2029. Who knows when it comes out? But let's just hope they learned. I'm not gonna lie, I used the 2x feature in the McDuo. I don't ever do time acceleration. I feel it's cheating. But I also do shorter hops. This is a longer one, combining, you know, the departure and an approach. This is gonna be, you know, over 400 nautical miles. Typically, though, I like to keep around that 300. I understand FENIX is going to replace the Pro Sim software and custom make their own. Really? Ooh. That could help with optimization. That could help with performance. You know, if you compare the FENIX and the fly-by-wire, even the FS Labs, like FENIX does struggle against them 3, right? Or the other 2. And not by much. But again, hardware makes a difference. If you have that headroom like I do, and this other people do, like, then there may not be as big of a difference in there. But if you don't have that headroom, you know, you can start struggling. How do I get the money first? How do you get the money first? What are we talking about? My name is Irish and I use speed ups. Irish has a problem. Oh, only on long hauls? Irish, don't speed up the beer. Don't speed up the beer. Alright, so briefing, we're expecting runway 29 at this point, although Navi's telling me that it's not in use, so we might get a runway change. Let's see if we can get, let's see what Beyondatc says. Houston Center, Delta 3157, just wondering what's our expected runway into New Orleans?
Houston Center, Delta 3157. Active arrival runways at Armstrong, New Orleans International are 02 and 29er.
02 and 29er, so we're probably getting 02. I think we're getting a runway change. Tried long hauls at 4X, but cannot use Beyondatc. Oh yeah, yeah. Looks like the poll is saying August as of right now. Do you? I pulled the Navi from the drop down using the standalone Navi instead. Performance is so much better. Yeah, I did too. I did not see any performance differences, but I did drop that as well. I did change to TAA, as I do have the headroom on my GPU, it's nice having clearer instruments here. Monster, what did you say, Monster 1? We'll expect Monster 1, runway 2, Delta 3157. Runway 2, so we had a runway change. Our transitions should all be the same, so let's go on down here. Let's go to approach, ILS 2, execute, legs, all is grand there. So we'll do a kind of like a 360 up here. All right, runway 2. Let's get our information plugged in. So we got 11.7, 111.7, 111.7, that's our ILS. And approach 116 for the heading. Good. Altitude 11. Whoops, 11 is set, and minimums are what? 415. I love that you can just click and hold in the FENIX and it goes like real fast. Okay, there we go. Alright, arrival is set. We're expecting runway 2 via the Monster 1 arrival. F was reporting on Facebook that they had issues with it, but I didn't have any issues. I did a couple flights with it yesterday, and 0 issues on my end, so that's good. I don't know what it was. Such a small, minor change with it. All right, we're almost at top of descent here.
Delta 3157, descend via Monster 1 arrival, Armstrong, New Orleans Airport, landing runway 2, altimeter 3001.
All right, we got our clearance for arrival.
Descend
Very
via
nice.
Monster 1 arrival. Armstrong, New Orleans Airport, landing runway 2. Altimeter 3001. Delta 3157.
Cool. Next flight is like Detroit. What is I think it's Detroit to St. Louis. So that's kind of cool. We haven't done a Detroit flight for a bit, and we haven't gone to St. Louis for a bit either. So I'm thinking they're 319 for that flight. It's so quiet without the engines roaring. Is that the moon? Yeah. It's a cool shot. I love how it says Delta on the bottom. I wonder if this is supposed to be like this mirrored. Are they supposed to be the same? Are they the same direction in real life? Or is that how it is supposed to be? Ah, looking really good. Has anyone watched Gladiator 2? So that's my wife and I. That's our plan to watch tonight. That's our date night. We rewatched Gladiator, the first one, the OG, a couple weeks ago, and we're gonna watch it tonight. We're a fan of the original, And the second one's a lot different apparently. We also like Pedro Pascal, and he's in it. I like Denzel Washington. So it should be entertaining. It's not going to live up to the original, of course, but it should be entertaining at least. Yeah, going to be difficult to beat the original, for sure. We're going to see Fantastic Four next, I think we're going to see it next Saturday. Again, Pedro Pascal. The new Superman movie is getting some mixed reviews. It did really well at the box office, extremely well at the box office. I haven't seen it. I'm not going to see it in theaters, but it's got really good reviews from the box, or not really good, really good numbers from the box office, and very mixed reviews. And it seems to come down to the following, and that is, if you like James Gunn's work, you'll have an entertaining time at the theater. If you don't like his work, you're not going to like the movie. And there's always like pluses and negatives against having the director also write the script. When they write the script, obviously they have more control over, over the idea of how the film's going to look. But if you flip that same narrative, if the script's not good, then obviously the direction of the film isn't going to be as great either. But I have my big thing on it is the fact that I'm a big fan of Henry Cavill. I like everything he's done. I loved him from Witcher. Obviously, I loved him from Man of Steel. I thought he was a very good Superman. And
descending via Monster 1, flight level 252.
So I've never been a big fan of. I've never been a huge fan of James Gunn's stuff, to be honest with you. Like, I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was good. It was fine, but I could take it or leave it. Like, the first one was good. After that, I was kind of bored of it at that point. I want to see the Ballerina, the John Wick movie, all the same, or spin-off, all the same people, which I love. Yeah. And so Ballerina was very different. I loved a lot of Ballerina. I really loved a lot of what Ballerina was about. It was cool to see a John Wick character, not be John Wick, if that makes sense. It was cool to see her struggle, right? She's fighting for pain, she's fighting for revenge, but she isn't as skilled, not even remotely close to John Wick. There's only one John Wick. And instead of just making another character that's John Wick, that's just a badass, it can just take out anyone and any will, she struggles. And she's also a petite girl. She's a tinier girl. And that was my fear, was going into the John Wick movie, was that they're going to make her be this very petite girl that could just take out these giant beasts. And that's not the case. And it's cool. It's cool to see that. It's cool to see that they have that realistic aspect of it, which is someone that's 100 and I have no idea what she weighs. 120, 130 pounds maybe. Someone at her build quality, build level, has a hard time taking down, these jacked up dudes. And the little fight between her and John Wick was really cool. It was really cool. It honestly was. It really opened up my eyes even further. So the story, the pacing of the story was a little off, but the action was really good. The stunts, she worked her ass off. She's no Keanu Reeves. Anna did a really good job at trying to do her own stunts and make it as authentic as she could. And I remember there's an interview I watched, and she said something to the effect of, I don't know how he does it. and Keanu Reeves is like damn near 20 years older than her. And she's like, I don't know how he does it. Now that just shows you how in shape and how impressive Keanu Reeves is, and how much he drives into doing his own stuff. Man of Steel is the best Superman. Yeah, Will, I agree with you. Man of Steel was something special. I was just talking with a friend about it, and I love how down to earth and how emotional they made Clark Kent / Superman become, right? And they gave him a sense of purpose and reasoning. And you know, spoiler alert, I really loved the way that they had his father go away, you know, with the storm, you know, and the tornado, and how Clark could have saved him, but his father said, "Don't do it." You know, I love that. I really do. I think it was it was very inspiring, very inspiring. The 5070 is so cheap. Yeah, but Irishman, you're coming from a 3090, right? I don't know if you want to go with the 5070. I think you're going to see no performance increase at all for the price you're going to spend on it. I would recommend, if you're going to do anything, go to at least a 5080. Minimum of 5080. My wife, we'll look at either doing a 50... Well, we'll probably end up doing a 5070 with her, honestly. We'll probably end up doing a 5070. That's still probably not until next year sometime. Alright, so I love that the Boeing can program the altimeter, so we already have that set, 3001. Let's bring out some speed brakes for this arrival. It's always cool coming into New Orleans, because, like, it's just so much water. So much water. It's so sad not having my OLED. These clouds will be popping white. Delta livery will be popping white. You know, some of this will be a little darker looking. Now I'm just complaining. I'm a spoiled little brat. Oh, that's already a given. A 5080 or 5090. I'm just really nervous about the 90. I know it could affect the 80s as well, but like I'm so nervous about the 90s with the 12-volt cable. Like, I still watch mine like a hawk, and it's more so the 90s that seem to have the flaws and not the flaws, but the issues. There's just so much power going through that little cable, and they don't do a good job at balancing it out, and that's where the problem comes in. And I just really nervous about the 90. I don't think I'd ever get a 90 until they replace that cable, change the way it's done. Plus, I've been very happy with the 80s. You know, I had a 2070, then I jumped to the 3070, and then I went to the 80 series. And I think the 80 series is probably like the happy little spot for me. It's a reasonably priced, well, not anymore, but it was reasonably priced. But it's in my price bracket, and you know, I get the performance I'm looking for. Sure, I would love to have, you know, use flight sim at you know, 160 FPS, but at the same time, it's still going to be limited by the main thread. It's still going to be limited by the CPU. There's nothing really to do about that. And like even right now, like I'm using 63% of my GPU, right? So I'm not going to really be able to get much more performance out of this system as it is. So I'm pretty content. I now have 100 plus frames in FENIX with everything on high and ultra. Jeez, well, I'm thinking the same about the cable. Yeah, everything is green, man. Green money, cash money. Will, what do you run for your oh shoot, what's it called? LOD. Like, what do you run for your LOD? I'm on default right now. I'm at the 100. I was running 125. I need to bump it back up. My object LOD is down to 80. So I don't really care enough about that. But the draw distance on the ground, I want to know. Like, I'm curious what you use. I saw that Kip got himself a 90, a 5090, so... Because he had, not too long ago, bought that AMD card. So, It's wild to see him jump over. That's a lot of money to spend. Kip must be doing pretty well. That's a lot of money to spend. I couldn't even justify it. Like I you know, considering that Moses stuff, but I'm like, I don't have the money for that. I don't have the whatever $200 for that, let alone $2,600 for a GPU after just buying a $1,000 GPU. All right, coming up. All right, here we go. I was like, what's your meter vector? 235.
Turn left, heading 235, Delta 3157.
All right, heading select. All right, we have a restriction of 11,000 here, and we're just gonna have to wait for our next restriction.
Contact Houston Center.
LED for both is 201, but still no stutter. 201? And no stutters? That's impressive.
Houston Center, Delta 3157, descending via Monster 1, 1111.
Monster 1. All right, so landing runway 2, exit left.
Delta 3157, Houston Center.
And we're awfully high.
Delta 3157, contact New Orleans approach 125.5.
At Royal bed on 2,000. I'm gonna start a descent now because that's. I'm sure they'll give us eventually, but I'm starting it now.
Delta 3157. Good day.
Bring our speed back as well. Let's go down to 200, or sorry, 2,000.
New Orleans approach, altimeter 3001, expect the visual approach runway 2.
All right, taxi lights are on. Over here, let's go ahead and do our approach briefing. Landing, copy it. It's dry weather there. Winds are...
34, leave Rayop heading 185. Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 2.
Winds are 330 at 7. Temperature's 32. QNH 3001. Flaps are gonna be 30. AC on, anti-ice off. Brakes are set. All operational and none for the config. Calculate 147. Bring out the speed brakes.
Delta 3157, descend and maintain 4,000.
All right, 4,000. So we got our descent instructions.
Descend and maintain 4,000, Delta 3157.
1448 for the 5080. Yeah, I have the latest DLSS swapper. I have that. I have the new file. I have that jazz. Everything's working pretty good, but I'm sure I can get more performance out of it. So I just don't want to be greedy.
New Orleans approach, southwest 2742. Good day, 8,500 feet with the numbers. Southwest 2742, New Orleans approach, altimeter 3001.
Let's try 12. That should help with the speed a little bit.
Altimeter 3001, expect the visual approach runway 2, southwest 2742.
Yeah, I watched that video though, Will. I did watch the video. I made some adjustments based on that. I have to look into all my settings again though, because one thing that when I did my format, even though things are saved in the cloud, like controls and all that, the graphics didn't for some reason. The graphics did get changed a bit. So I have to look to see where I am. A little bouncy up here, a little bit turbulence. Go green and do it, damn it. Well, I'm also having issues with, I don't know why. I was telling this to P2 on the group flight. Oh, you were on a group flight though. I think that like, oh no, where was I saying it? I said it in Discord, which is, for whatever reason, dev mode, like, if I have FrameGen on, ever since I did this format, if I turn on dev mode and I had the frame counter, I get like half the performance. It's like it disables FrameGen. It's so weird. It's so weird. Alright, speed's looking better. Let's go 1,000 for the VS. And we'll see what happens here if we get a vector to the right, or if that just tells us to intercept the localizer.
Southwest 2742. Leave RAOP heading 185. Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 2.
New Orleans. It's crazy to think of, just not that long ago, how bad the flooding was here. Hopefully they don't get hit again. Like, there's a big old storm that hit the east coast of the U.S., up there in New York, flooding the subway system. Texas had a flood not too long ago, North Carolina, New Mexico. Like, it's just flooding all over the U.S. It's not a good sign, folks. Not a good sign. I use Afterburner and go with that. Dev mode gives you latency indeed. Oh, interesting. I should try. I haven't used Afterburner for a very long time. I should try using the Steam. Try using the Steam overlay. Right now I have my Stream Deck just giving me my FPS from HW Info. I guess I could also use the NVIDIA overlay too. But I kind of swapped. I used to use the NVIDIA Shadow Play for recording videos, but it stopped working every once in a while. And I found better luck with the... I also have Game Bar. And Game Bar is telling me... Well, Game Bar is telling me 90% GPU, 94%. What the hell? I'm getting completely different numbers compared to what HW Info is giving me. That's fascinating. But 95% GPU, 25% CPU, 41% for virtual RAM, 50% RAM, 120 FPS. That's what Game Bar at least is saying. 315.
Turn right, heading 315. Intercept the
Approach
2
mode
localizer,
activated.
Delta 3157.
Glide slopes captured. That's interesting. Glide slope was captured before localizer captured. I don't think I've ever seen that. Alright, 10 nautical miles out. Let's start bringing out flaps. 180 on the speed. Flaps 2. Oh, there's cabin crew. Now it's starting to work.
Delta 3157,
And...
airport 2 o'clock 11 miles. Report the field in sight.
Oh, there's the field in sight. We have the field in sight, Delta 3157. I'm sure you can't see it on the stream, but...
3157, cleared visual approach runway 2.
Clear for the visual.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for landing.
Cabin secured. Localizers captured.
Delta 3157, contact New Orleans Tower 119.5.
Very, very, very nice.
Over to Tower 119.5. Delta 3157.
147 on the V speed. 147.
Delta 3157. Visual runway 2.
There's a runway. Exit to the left. Runway 2 cleared to land.
Runway 2 cleared to land. Delta 3157.
Alright, folks. We'll be thinking for the landing rate. I'm going with a minus 180. Minus 180. Let's bring back that speed. Let's go gear down. Alright, once we get landed, parts, and all that jazz, we'll do a sim reset. And then we'll do one more flight. I think like I said, I think it's Detroit to St. Louis. That'd be a fun flight. Flaps 10. And maybe I'll launch up First Officer. This has been a minute since I've used it. Launch up some First Officer with the 319. Although I gotta see if my profile is working. I downloaded my profiles, but it's being funky, like they wouldn't work with the Max. My custom profile. Flaps 25. Flaps 30. Are you the one on your long 300 nautical mile? Welcome in, J. Russ. I like that. Speed brakes are arms. Alright, and 140. I'm gonna do 145. You on your 1 year long 300 nautical mile flights. Hey, this was like 4 something. 450 probably. The next one's long too. Detroit to St. Louis? That's crazy long. I'm gonna bring up the 777 for that one. Woo, a gusty up here.
4 approaching minimum.
Alright, bring up that nose.
Minimum.
Losing airspeed. Steady. I'm not very confident anymore with my landing rate, by the way.
100. 50.
Glide slow.
40. 30. 20. 10.
Touchdown. Alright, reversers are out. This is a little shorter runway, so we gotta stomp on them brakes a little bit. Alright, welcome to New Orleans, everyone. Weather is pretty decent. I wasn't gonna make that, I don't think, so we'll go on down here. Gonna take Tango. Speed brakes are disarmed. And landing gear is off. Landing lights are off. Tango to Sierra.
Delta 3157, contact ground 121.9er. Have a good one.
Alright. Off and off.
Delta 3157.
Alright, that was a really good flight. A very good flight. Take a reference point on the big airport on the ground, write down your frames and VRAM. From there you do green stuff and compare. Green stuff? I don't smoke that stuff. Will? I don't smoke the stickiest of the ickiest. Matthew says, I suck so bad at final approaches, I don't know how to improve. Oh man, all I could tell you, I'm just gonna park over here next to this Delta. All I can tell you is practice, man. Practice. Like Allen Iverson said with the 76ers, practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about the game. We're talking about practice. Practice. It takes a lot of practice, and the same aircraft. Ideally, the same approach if you can too.
JetBlue 176 New Orleans ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face east.
Face east. All right, we're gonna park right here. I don't think that would have been really tight next to that Delta. All right, Charlie 6 is our gate today. Got a little bit of a bump. All right, parking brake is set. And electronic on. APU on.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome.
the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their
Down here to the bottom. Cutoff switches.
However, we ask that you remain
That's a very good flight.
fastened seatbelts.
All right, let's go ahead and kill Beyond ATC so I don't use any more points. Delta Tango, welcome on in. Good to see you in. Matthew, thanks for coming in as well. Still like this aircraft. Might have to buy it even though it's a Boeing. Yeah, J. Russ, this is a really good plane. This is a really fun plane. I really love it. Is the progression page... Oh, sorry. Is the progression page still crashing on the sim page 3? Progression page. Oh, in the iFly? Good question. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no. Flight just ended, so I don't know if I've ever gone that far. Practice touchdown or touch and go pattern work. Go to open airport like FENIX and keep on going around. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, J. Russ. That's a perfect one. That's a perfect example of what to do. All right, let's see what APL says. Let's see what APL says. Then we'll do a refresh, and then we'll do the next flight. Detroit to St. Louis. Detroit to St. Louis. 382 nautical miles. Holy smokes, that's another long haul. I'm going to take a nap during the flight. I got another 100, so I've 100 on my last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flights. 100 on my last 8 flights. Yeah, I'm bringing this on the screen because I don't want people saying I'm cheating. Here it is, folks, right there. 100 on the last 8 flights. Huh? Talk about just doing well. All right, details. We had 100 or 121. Landing rate was a 121. G force was a 1.17. So that was a pretty nice smooth landing. I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's go to dashboard real quick. And dashboard is saying average is 99.22. 1,000 flights. Oh, I finally passed 1,000 flights. Almost at 1,000 flight hours. Another month, maybe. Month and a half, and I'll probably be at 1,000 flight hours as well. With APL. Very, very cool. All right, let's go ahead and recycle the sim, shall we? Let's clear out this guy. Irishman coming in with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much for those, Irishman. Let's restart the sim. Major McDaniel got one. Flight Sim got one. Derby got one. Pete got one. And Radio Man John got one. Courtesy of Irishman. Jump into the MD11 and see what your score is. Got my first 100 after 10 days of practice. Does the MD11 work in 2024? I don't remember if it works in 2024. All right, resetting the sim. Just for reference, Will, my average frames during that flight was 95. 95. Just if you're curious. Okay, let's start up Flat Simon. Oh, why is it still... Oh, because of this. Gotta close out the other program too. Uh-oh, that's not good. Why is it hanging? What else is going? Volanta shouldn't cause the problem, right? Volanta shouldn't cause any issues. Huh. I'm not sure what's hanging it. All right, well, force close it, I guess. Why is Photoshop launching too? Photoshop shouldn't be up. What the hell's going on here? Okay, so got that all cleared out. There's an update for Hell Divers and Ready or Not. Another update for Ready or Not? There's a new update came out yesterday. Yes, not officially, but it works great. Okay. I don't know how much I'll fly it. That's my only thing with that one, is I just don't know how much I'll fly it. It looks like a fun plane. 757 Spy. He was flying it quite a bit there in 2020, but I don't think he's flown it in 2024. All right, while this is loading up, I'm going to step away for a couple moments, and I'll be right back. Oh, wrong button. Let's try that again. All right, so let's see what we have next. Flight, I'm going to do the 319. 319, the little baby bus. Dispatch, and we're doing Detroit to St. Louis. This is a CFM flight, I believe, right? I think Delta uses CFMs. Yeah, there's Delta. All right, save that. And Phoenix CFM departure runway looks to be 21 right. Generate that. .38 for the altitude, cruising on up pretty high on this one. Looking good. Save it. And let's go to live weather. I'm gonna bump up. Let's go here, even though this is a scary test. Let's bump up. I'm gonna go back to my 125. Is my clouds at ultras? Where are my clouds? Clouds. On high. Let's change it to ultra. All right, save that. KDTW, Detroit. Import. 21 right. I wish you can set this as default. What was it? What did I say? 21 right. Right. 21 right there. I don't know where Delta parks. I'm gonna park here. All right, load it up. And back again. What did I miss? Why is the sim restarting? Next flight. Just restarting. Yep. I just came out of the meeting to discuss what we discussed in the previous meeting and what we need to discuss in the next meeting. Corporations are crazy. The fact that when they need to start cutting costs, the first thing they think about, I think I picked right with Delta, the first thing they think about is employees. Let's cut the employees' payroll, right? That's the first thing they think about. It's not like all the meetings they go to. It's not all the private, you know, all the jets they have to spend money on. We're paying John $200. That's crazy. Let's cut that. You know what I mean? That's wild. Oh my God. What the hell is going on? All right. Clear out that. Good. Let's give this a couple of seconds to load up. Let's get Beyond ATC rolling. Let's get FSUIPC going so I actually track the flight. Not make that mistake again, like I've done many times. And then let's get Volanta rolling as well. Volanta is where? Bam. Okay. I do miss my bigger monitor for sure when it comes to streaming. All right, we're going to KSTL. Corey plays. I got you as a friend on Volanta. All right, I think we're cooking. Beyond ATC cooking. First employees, then they cut productivity software, which could have made other employees work better. Then they cut those employees too. Then file chapter 11. You should set crazy traffic on Beyond ATC. Yeah, no. That'd be cool though if you had a button to like drunken pilots. Although sometimes traffic is like drunken pilots. All right, anyone paying attention to Discord, make sure that there's like no big updates coming out, because it seems like every time I stream like 2 flights, there's some sort of big update. And I'm like, damn it, if I knew that came out, I would have restarted. Let's see, have we got any news? Oh, looks like nothing major at this point. All right, cool. Delta essentially has that entire terminal you can choose and the island attached via underground tunnels. Nearly everyone else is at the other... Yeah, I found that out, the other terminal. So, like, over here is, like, I think, was it American, United, and whatnot? Well, I don't know if that's right. I don't think United's supposed to park there. But this is also FS traffic, so I'm not sure how updated it is. Also, what's with the random, like, aircrafts parked? Is this FS traffic cause an issue? But it's using Beyond ATC injection, so maybe not. I don't know. I don't see any traffic over there yet. Or maybe there's one plain tail there. Can't fully tell. I don't see anything. What don't you see? What are you talking about? What's going on, Irishman? Are you drunk? Drinking a little bit of that special Kool-Aid? Are you taking what Will was talking about, the green stuff earlier? Why is this? You look at this right here. It says Delta, right? That makes sense. And then Sky Team. There's a space in between airlines. Airlines. Isn't that one word? Airlines? Spirit, Southwest, etc. on the other terminal. Oh, okay. Alex, welcome in. Love the short shout out in the video. Oh, of course, Alex. That was a great idea for the video with the Mobiflight. I want to dive more into it, so I can learn more, because I know P2 is trying to get a profile going with his Moza stuff, and I'd love to learn more about it. Was a huge Northwest hub. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. When good old Northwest Airlines. I miss Northwest. All right, over here to FENIX. Let's import it. Let's load it. Let us go here and sync it, calculate it. Up top here, external power on, battery 1 and 2, pumps rolling, IRSs aligning, crew supply is on, wings on, master switch on. So P2, I told you in Discord the other day about Mobiflight, and I had ChatGPT make a profile. Well, it did make a profile, but it didn't make the right file extension. So I asked it to convert it, and it converted it to the right extension, but the extension doesn't work. So I need to figure out that. I know you were talking about using the X one, which I can take a look at. All right, over here, we're going to go to config, and we're going to go to manual, nav it, drop on down, IRSs, get those insta-aligned. We ain't got time for all that jazz. FMC, init, request it. Wasn't, okay, looking, LL was looking at Discord. Was looking on Discord for updates. Delta famously does their name as Delta. Oh, they do really? Do they really? Okay, I did not know that. They do a space in between airlines. Fascinating. That's cool. I did not know that. Okay, fetch the flight plan, and we're looking at flight, or Delta DAL 2822 with service to St. Louis. We are crossed index of 5 and cruise up to 380. Cool, grand. I think we're good with that. Let's go over here now and send this to the McDo. Send this to the McDo. Go back to the McDo. Performance in looking good. Let's go next over. Looking grand. Flight plan, Detroit. Let's get our clearance first, because, you know, we'll see what Beyond ATC decides to do today on this flight. 120.65. 120.65. Detroit, or sorry, Metro clearance. Hello from Delta 2822. We're ready for IFR clearance to St. Louis. Jeez, I can't talk apparently. It's clear, clear, clear.
22, Metro clearance, cleared to Lambert, St. Louis.
Lambert.
Berry tree departure, sinker transition, then is filed. Climb via SID, except maintain 7,000 feet. Departure frequency tree 2025. Squawk tree 62.
I wonder why I can't get this profile to stick
Cleared to Lambert, St. Louis.
with
Berry tree departure, sinker transition,
Mobiflight.
then is filed. Climb via side, except maintain
I have to load it
7,000
even though I
feet.
have it linked.
Departure
Let's remove the
frequency
link.
32025.
Link config it.
Squawk
Auto
tree
config.
362. Delta
Let's try it now. See if that
2822.
sticks. It's been weird.
Delta 2822,
21 right.
correct. Contact
Okay,
ground
runway
tree
change. Runway
ready for
stayed.
pushback or engine start.
21 right via the
We'll
Bari
contact ground 3275
Barry?
when
Bari?
ready for pushback or engine
Sinker.
start. Delta 2822.
St.
Thanks.
Louis. We're expecting arrival 30 right via Arch 2 and then VHP. I don't know what that's supposed to stand for. I just got what the Arch is for. You're gonna think I'm an idiot, because I am. But like, I just got what the Arch stood for. That's gotta be the Arch there. What's that? What the hell is that called? In St. Louis? Is it called the Arch? Alright, return. Performance. Beautiful. Altimeter is set. I think we're ready. Yeah, that sounds like ChatGPT. Mobiflight 10.5 beta outwards. They use the new. Yeah, they used the new one. Alex, you are part of the couch. Oh, of course. Of course, I'm part of Kip's Couch Captains. Delta's here to help. Of course. Kip's Couch Captains is fantastic. Alright. Delta 2822, ready for pushback and engine start.
Delta 2822, Metro ground, pushback approved, face northeast.
Northeast.
Pushback approved. Face northeast. Delta 2822.
Pre-planned pushback. I don't remember if any builds Detroit shows up on here. Yep, sure does. Cool. Alright, let's push back. I'm guessing we'll get November 1. So we'll go ahead and push back all the way to November 1. That should work fine. Okay, release the parking brake. Request a pushback. Hold is going. Fantastic. Go on down here. Flip that on. Turn that on. Crank that up. Turn this to start. Let's turn the volumes on. We don't need to use the other program for this one. Engine number 1. Clock's a clockin'. And then 7,000 for the hold. Okay.
Welcome aboard. My name is Allie, and I
Don't feel bad. Didn't occur to me either. Gateway Arch. There we go. I can't believe it. I've flown into St. Louis many times. I never put two and two together. From what I'm seeing on all the sites, it looks like everyone is waiting on Sim Update 3 to drop before they drop all their updates. I think so. I think Sim Update 3 is like the final big update. I don't know if we'll see much of anything with Sim Update 4. Probably minor. Flaps are going to be 1. I know they talked briefly about Sim Update 4, but again, I don't expect much of that, much of anything. That's going to be just more fine-tuning with maybe VRAM or something, hopefully. I would love to make Mobiflight profiles for the Honeycomb Bravo, Alpha, Moza, TB Yoke, oh, Thrustmaster Yoke, so that people don't rely on Msfs, but I need someone to partner with me. Yeah, I want to learn it. I really, really do. I've gotten so many profiles from people. I would love to give back to the community. That's, you know, what this channel has been all about, is giving back to the community. Everything I've learned in flight simming, I want to share. You know, people coming in and be like, yo, how do you get better at this? There's that. Oh, what do you think about this scenery? There you go. Delta 2822, ready to taxi to the active.
Delta 2822, runway 21 right, taxi via uniform 8, uniform golf, hold short runway 9 or left.
Uniform
Runway
8.
21 right, taxi via uniform 8, uniform golf. Hold short.
Oh, they actually did
runway
want us over there.
9 left, Delta 2822.
They actually did want us to push back to here, and then we're going to taxi out that way. That's fine. Our taxi lights on.
Hold position for traffic.
I'm holding. What traffic?
Hold position, Delta
If you bleed off,
2822.
I'll call down here. Take off config. What traffic are you talking about? There is no traffic around me. No one's pushing back. Yeah, okay, we're going. You're crazy. You're crazy beyond ATC. You can discuss that in your next meeting, P2. At least it would be something different. Alright, so we're taxiing via... The only thing with the Indy builds Detroit, it seems like this is always blurry. Like, the taxiway signs are blurry.
Delta 2822, continue taxi.
Yeah, there was no planes around us, you crazy.
Taxi, Delta 2822.
Alright, then we'll hold here at 9 left, cross over, and then do... Victor? And then Mike.
Delta 2822, cross runway 9 or left at golf. Continue taxi via golf, Victor, Mike, Mike 6.
Cross runway 9er, left at golf. Continue
So,
taxi
okay,
via
I'm
golf.
curious. Those who have used FS
Mike
traffic,
6,
you know,
Delta
with Beyond
2822.
ATC, do you like it? Do you prefer FSLTL more? Why? I'm very curious about it. I've been using FS traffic now for the better half of, what, 2 weeks? With Beyond ATC. I have no complaints with it. You know, other than cargo. That would be really nice to have cargo again. Alright, here's Victor. Here's Mike. Take this all the way down to Mike 6. Alright, bring back the throttle a little bit and we'll just kind of coast it. We need to see you rip some VATSIM. It's so much fun, get your heart pumping. So I am going to be working on content for that. So I've talked about it before, but I want to do a video. Can someone that's used AI ATC primarily for the past year and a half have success on VATSIM? Right? That's kind of my whole thing. Can someone do that? And I just need to actually... What the thing is I'm waiting for is for there to be ground, tower, and center at an airport I'm familiar enough with. And so that would be... And it can't be a complex airport, too. So, like, I'd be fine with, like, Midway and Minneapolis. Minneapolis would be perfect for me. If I can do, like, a Minneapolis to Fargo, my little normal hop there, I'd be fine with. Tampa. Flying out of Tampa to... I don't know, Jacksonville, maybe? Definitely not Orlando, not Miami, not one of the big international airports. Like, I know Minneapolis is an international airport, but Midway is... I don't think technically Midway is... but like flying out of Milwaukee or something up where Delta is, that'd be kind of cool.
Delta 2822, contact Metro Tower 118.4.
I don't want to make myself look like a complete idiot,
Over to tower
more than I normally do.
118.4, Delta 2822. Take care.
Metro Tower, Delta 2822, holding short 21 right, ready to go. Alright, landing lights are on. We're all green.
Metro Tower, wind 180 at 11 or nav to Sergey.
Your Sim CFI, welcome in. Thanks for coming in.
Runway 21 right, RE nav to Sergi. Cleared for takeoff. Delta 2822.
I remember V1 saying he learned early to only ding the forward call button, as that is where their crew chief sits. Oh, interesting. The other flight attendants don't pay enough attention to answer the call button. That's interesting. All right, here we go. Well, look at this storm. Gee, look like a tornado. The weather we've been getting on these streams have been crazy. Recently, at least. All right, throttle coming up. And flexing, flexing. Let's go flying. I love the sound of the CFM engines. It's like my favorite sound. V1, rotate. And a nice smooth departure out of Detroit. Gear going up. We only have flaps 1 on departure, so we'll hold off on bringing up the flaps. Ooh, a little bit of a breeze. Little bit of a breeze. Hold it.
Contact
Hold
Detroit
it.
departure, Delta 2822. Detroit departure.
Now I know Detroit has all kinds of restrictions up here with this altitude, so we'll keep that mindful. It is bouncy up here, man. Turbulence is real.
Radar contact. Climb maintain flight level 190.
190 in the box.
Climb maintain flight level 190. Delta
And climb mode.
2822.
And we're gonna wait just a little bit longer to bring up those flaps. Alright, flaps up, speed brakes are disarmed, and we have restrictions at 7,000. Coming up here, so there's this restriction of 7,000 up here, so I'll get AP on so that it could do all the hard work for me. But we'll wait just a little bit longer. Every time I say Detroit, I think of like the Detroit Pistons announcer. Detroit basketball. Alright, AP on. Let's see, I'm missing some stuff. Let's see. You're gonna rifle people up with that one, Lex. What'd I say? Oh, the VATSIM thing? I flew Sunday and was on final. Controller was thanking me for helping him out. Then I flew over the airport at 2000 on accident and disconnected. Msfs, yeah, Minneapolis is a great. Yeah, I love Minneapolis. It's one of my favorite airports in the world. Like, it's just such a cool airport. The visuals on departure, right? The arrivals, depending on what runway you're getting. Really, really cool. And it's just a simple airport. The layouts are very nice. Taxiways are understandable. It was almost like a perfectly planned airport. Just a perfectly planned airport. But with VATSIM, Boston and LA are the most consistently staffed, in my opinion. Yeah, both of those two for sure, but Boston's not too complex either. Like, it's not too bad. LA has a lot of intersecting taxiways, I guess. That might throw me off with the pressure. The pressure's gonna break me. I am more of a IAE guy. Oh, are you? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I like the sounds of the CFMs. I really like the sounds of the CFMs. You did not brake before gear up, Cap. I did not brake. What'd I brake? Kit Kat bar? Alright, let's bring out the arch, bring out the map a little bit. And we're cruising up to 3.8 on this one, right? Yeah, 3.8. So let's go ahead and bring that in there because we'll get clearance up to 3.8 at some point. A little baby airport down below. Just a little guy. That's a storm. Yeah, listen to those engines roar. Oh geez, it's storming everywhere. Look at this. This is so cool. This is amazing looking at. This is crazy. That's so cool. That's not coming towards me, is it? I know I'm supposed to get some rain here, but it's not. We got thunderstorms at around 5. Yeah, that's not coming towards me. The sim world seems obsessed with the IE engines, but I am with you with the CFMs. There's something about the CFMs. Landing lights are off. I love the sounds. I feel like the IE engines. I feel like they take longer to rev not rev up, but to spool up. I think that's big, and I'm sure it's the complete opposite because they're newer engines. But like, I don't know. I really like the CFMs, which I remember when I first got the 319. Sorry, the 320. Like I was flying the Northwest Airlines livery all the time with the CFMs and the CFMs, all the time. I even, when I first got into New Sky, no one else had a Northwest airline on there, so I made a Northwest airline, but no one was joining the airline, and I was just having a hard time taking the time to actually make all the routes that were available. But I did a couple of them, had a lot of fun. I will not give my real name or ID to play a game. Sorry, VATSIM. I get it. I totally get it. 100%. They're not getting my ID. Like, I don't know if I have to give them my ID to, because I already have a profile. So I don't know if that's like for new people or if that's for everyone. But if they're asking for like an ID, if I try to, try VATSIM, then no, they're not getting that. That's not happening. Don't blame people for not wanting to give it though. Yesterday I just logged in as an observer at Boston and listened to ground and watched the traffic patterns. Yeah, see, that's a cool thing. I did that a lot with VATSIM. When I first got into the AI, when I first got into ATC period, it was just before the launch of SI, and I was like, I want to try doing this VATSIM, so I'm gonna be an observer and watch flights, right, and just understand the lingo. And then SI came out for VFR, and so I started dabbling into that a bit. But I still used VATSIM and real world, using what's it called? Shoot. What's the website that has like all the ATC, real life ATC? Flight, what's it called? Real ATC or Flight ATC? Whatever that, live ATC, that's what it's called, live ATC. In conjunction with using live ATC, using VATSIM, and trying to figure out what the real communication is. Trying to fine tune as much as I can. You're a spinning wheel, Captain, you are. Probably like the CFMs because we always fly Delta IRL. Yeah, that makes sense. Live ATC, yeah. Yeah, I watched hours upon hours of live ATC. Hours on it. One of the things I don't think people quite understand when it comes to doing ATC is, yeah, you could jump into Beyond ATC and FS HUD, because it's really nice because it pretty much tells you what you're supposed to say, right? And be pretty comfortable in consistently doing it. But if you really want to get as real as you possibly can and be consistent with the real world verbiage, you do have to listen to real world stuff. And as good as VATSIM is, I've listened to VATSIM enough times to know that it's not always perfect, right? Whether it's whether it's ATC or if it's a pilot, it's still a sim, right? And we're all going to make the sim mistakes. So that's why I listen to live ATC, because we're talking real world now, right? We're talking about VFR flights, IFR flights, around the entire world, and hearing it live, hearing different situations come up is really beneficial. Really beneficial. Check out Alpha Originals. Makes really good content, all VATSIM, and I learned a lot just watching him. I watched so Two Tone Murphy had a really good large series. It was many weeks of a series of ATC, and I also watched a lot of his stuff when he was doing it live, and how to talk to ATC, and it also helped me understand it a little bit more as well. Listening to VATSIM or Flight Radar 24 and Live TC helps learn airports. Yeah, for sure. I want to make those cinematic style VATSIM videos once I quit flying over the airports on accident. Well, we need chase plane in 2024 to make those really cool videos. Like, you can do it, in 2024 now with, slick camera work and, replay systems. Here's something that might be questionable. I don't really like the who's it? Fabio's the replay system that's in 2024. I'm not a fan of it. I prefer a Dolly. I don't even know if it works in 2024. I haven't used it. I haven't really used replay too much in 2024, but I prefer Dolly. Personally, I feel like I've had less issues with Dolly than I do with FCR. Alex says you're completely right, because good for the most part, but there are shortcomings in the lingo sometimes. Yeah, and I think that's not everyone going on VATSIM is a pro. Not everyone going on VATSIM has hundreds of hours under their belt. Not everyone is 757 Spy, and even 757 Spy who flies 5 times a week for several hours a day still goofs up some of the lingo. But that's the human part of it, right? That's the human part, and I like that. I like the human part, because even in real life, they make mistakes. I saw someone posted, where was that on? Facebook or Reddit? I don't remember. Someone posted a sign. It was real life too. It was a banner for like plane spotters. It was positioned where the plane spotters do their stuff. But anyways, the sign says something to the fact of making fun of people who were pushing back but using clearance for the pushback or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I thought it was hilarious, because just like in just like in a sim, whether it's VATSIM or AI ATC, like sometimes you forget to switch to comms. I have mine auto-tuned, but sometimes you'll forget to hit the switch to comms over. Alright, so we're expected to be on the ground in less than 1 hour. Less than 1 hour. And next, I think tomorrow, if time allows and everything works fine, one shorter hop tomorrow. Same time. And then Friday, we'll probably do another 2 hops. And we'll see about a Sunday group flight. We'll see. I know my wife wants to go do some stuff on Saturday night after work, so we'll see about group flight on Sunday. Maybe we can do one group flight on Sunday, but that one's kind of really up in the air. Really up in the air.
119.905. Air Shuttle 6175.
Alright, flight level 304, looking pretty good. Nice smooth flight so far. We're expecting runway 30 right for the arrival, so pretty much a straight in arrival for the most part. We can use our cool handy dandy EFB for the charts in this plane. I guess I could have, what the, I gotta freaking do this. Son of a gun. Takes seconds, I don't know why I'm complaining. Alright, there's that. And so St. Louis, we're currently expecting the Arch 2 arrival. I forget you can't use the scroll wheel on this one. The Arch 2 arrival via what? VHP here. So we're going to come on in. And then we're going to do an altitude restriction of 6,000. And then we should get the vectors pretty much, like, again, straight in for the arrival. 30 right. So at 30 right. 2100 at Rayleigh. And then 30 right for the arrival. On landing. We're going to exit to the left, probably at November. And Papa, and then we'll figure out where they want to. I'll try to do ATC arrival, like a gate taxi, since this one might be a little bit more unique.
For flight level 380, direct sinker.
Direct sinker.
Delta 2822, Indianapolis Center.
That's another reason why I use a standalone Navi. Oh yeah. I don't normally like. I don't know why I prefer to have it on my Surface, my tablet. I don't know why. I haven't quite figured it out, and I'm so reluctant to change it. I said I was going to use like the in-sim one all the time. I know for like streaming, it makes more sense to use it on the EFP and all that jazz. I get it, so people can see it. But I'm not really teaching about it. If I was teaching, I would do it more often, but I'm not really teaching. Yeah, I miss my ultra wide for my add-on. I was telling my wife how, since I'm RMAing my monitor, so I was having my two. Delta's on a work call. We'll see you, Delta. Thanks for coming in, though. I was telling my wife how, like, before my RMA, I had my two ultra wides, right? So my primary in front of me, and then I had one on the left of me. And after I dropped down to having the smaller one for the time being, I realized that having those two big-ass monitors next to each other was just so much... It's so much screen. It really is. Like, I love having the real estate. I really do. But it's so much screen. Like, now having it downsized, I dig it. I kind of dig the smaller size. It's just not so much space taken, right? So, I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get my monitor back. Or my new one, I should say. Not back, but when I get my new monitor. My replacement. Because I really do like all that real estate. And like right now, I have chat that's visible. I have Beyond ATC. I have APL kind of covered up, mostly. And then I have OBS just kind of barely showing on the bottom. I could probably just make the browser a little bit smaller and have OBS shown more, just so I know what's going on the screen. I don't need a full do something to that. Yeah.
Indianapolis Center, Rodeo 5-1. Good day, 6,000 feet.
I like to have OBS at least somewhat visible so I can see what you're all seeing, make sure the stream's going fine. And then, like, if I throw in, like, first officer, that just takes up more space as well. Yeah, it was an OLED. Yep, an OLED. So now I'm back on just standard. I missed the darks. Like, that's the thing that it's hard for... It was hard for me when I first started thinking about going OLED. It was hard for me to justify it, because I know what OLED does. I know it's going to be brighter, I know it's going to be darker. I understand the concept, but my mind was always like, how much? And using OLED for... What's it been? Like 3 to 4 months. You really notice the difference going back to standard. And one thing that stands out the most right now is more so here is like the whites. The whites are super bright with OLED. They're super bright. White is white and it looks really good, really bright, really good. And then blacks, and that's in the cockpit. This is all black on OLED. Like, this looks just like night black. It's really good. Where here it has like that kind of lighter black. You know, it's not really dark. It's black, right? It's definitely black, but it's not dark. You're not looking to the soul of my cat's eyes. Right? So obviously it's black, it's just not rich black. And it is a hell of a difference. It really is, especially night flying. Night flying with OLED, holy smokes. It really is night. Yeah, you just took the words out of my mouth, Matthew. Yeah, night flying is insane with OLED. It really, really is. It's something different. Something different. Like, it looks good in the sim regardless. The sim is really impressive at night. But OLED changes it. And then throw an HDR in there. Like, HDR... we don't have a sun around us right now to look at. But like HDR, like right here, it probably wouldn't make a difference. But HDR will change so that it makes the balance between the clouds and the atmosphere. So it will make whatever one's supposed to stand out more realistically. Well, it's supposed to. So in this case... it may make the atmosphere stand out more and the clouds kind of fade away more. I don't know. I don't know how that would work technically. Same with the clouds here. Like, these would be a little bit more darker on OLED. Kind of pop just a little bit more. Very subtle, but just enough. It's such an experience, man. Such an experience. Beyond ATC, Navi, APL, SimBrief, all in its own corner. All in its own corners. Yeah, that's what I would do with my ultra-wide.
Delta
Yep.
2822, contact Indianapolis Center 120.65. Have a good day.
P2 loves the name.
Contact Indianapolis Center 120.65, Delta 2822.
Alright, we're at cruise, so let's go ahead and start preparing our arrival, even though we'll probably get some change.
Center, Delta 2822. Good day.
Q and H. Let's see.
Delta 2822, Indianapolis Center, good day.
2993. Temperature is 32. Winds are gusting up to 15, but 240 at 11. And then the minimums. Runway 30 right. It's 805. 805. Oh, not 25. Alright. Arrival set. Now we just gotta wait for a runway change. We'll see what happens.
Fly present heading. Climb and maintain flight level 240. Endeavor 5314.
Be right back. My Bravo just fell off of my desk. Oh no, P2. Oh, jeez. I should probably be right back too. I gotta uncover the birds. I'll be right back. All right. What birds do you have? So we have a parakeet. We had two, but unfortunately one passed away. So we have just the one parakeet now, which I feel really bad because birds are very social animals, right? Very, very social animals. And I feel bad that he's by himself, but he seems very content. He's a very skittish bird. And I don't know if he truly got along with the other bird, to be honest. Like they made it work out, but I know that the other bird would pick on him. But he's always just been a very skittish bird. So I worry about introducing him to another bird. One, because obviously like the bird flew, right? And then two, I don't want him to feel like he has to be friends with this other bird. But part of me is like, yeah, maybe we should get him. I don't know. I'm so mixed on it. Like, we're not bird people. So I don't know why we got birds, but we did. But we're definitely not bird people. That's one decision I wish I didn't listen to my wife about. She got me excited, and that's what happened. Okay, I think my Bravo is all set for the max now, minus the dent on my on my floor. Not only is Lex a professional pilot, but also a professional zookeeper. Yeah, really? Like, okay, so we have the big old German Shepherd who's almost 12. We have my cat, which is, she's 13. And then we have my wife's cat, which is almost 12. And then we have the parakeet, which I guess he'd probably be around 3 or 4. How long do parakeets last? That lasts a long time, right? Parakeets last a long time. Parakeets lifespan 7 to 15 years. Oh yeah, he's a long while ago. A long while ago yet. Even up to 20 years. Oh yeah, he's got plenty of years to go. Oh no, my Boeing mod broke. Oh no. Man, one heck of a way for the universe to ask me not to move to flying Boeing. Oh boy, my girlfriend keeps warning me that if we are to spend life together, I need to be okay living with a zoo. She already has 3 cats, a dog between the two of us. We are never finding a house for rent. Yeah. So speaking of that, my wife wants to get another cat, and we're not allowed a lot of pets where we live now. We're at our limit as it is, so getting another cat would be a very big problem. On top of that, you know, we don't have a very big square footage place where we live, and then you got, you know, you're talking about vet bills and food and care, and this cat would be a kitten, so like there's a lot of question marks with it all. And she wants to move to another place and to another building, but then there's the problem of like finding somewhere that allows all the animals we have, and then moving, the expense and all that. So I don't know. I just don't see it happening personally, but she's persistent. Our Boeing's much harder to fly than Airbus. I hate trimming. They definitely are a lot more hands-on. They definitely are more hands-on. And I think that's why I prefer hand-flying Boeings. I prefer the computer systems in the Airbuses, personally. But Boeings, there's something very satisfying when you butter a Boeing landing. You know, when you butter a Boeing landing that's a windy day and something like that. Because I feel like I can consistently get under 200 landing rates with an Airbus. But with a Boeing, with a rough day, like it could be tougher. Now the FENIX does float. It does have this floating thing, right? So if you take that in consideration, but I feel like as long as you remember that on landing, it's still easier to fly an Airbus, for sure. Yet finding a place to rent with all these animals are next to impossible. Yeah.
Delta 2822. Have a good day.
777 is easier to fly than 737. Oh yeah, for sure. When you butter an Airbus landing, you feel like you won over the robots.
Flight level 380.
This is true. This is true.
Delta 2822, Indianapolis Center.
The 777 is very much similar to an Airbus. It has the auto trim kind of feature and stuff, the fly-by-wire kind of features. We'll expect the Arch 2 runway 30 right, Delta 2822. Okay, no runway change. Very cool. Look at that, we're almost at top of descent already. Almost at top of descent already. P2, that video you posted yesterday is really good. That was from our group flight on Sunday. That landing was really smooth, man. That was really good. Really good. This flag's backwards. What the hell? Come on, FENIX. Get with it. This is unflyable. This plane is just unflyable now. The plane, the flag is backwards. What in the world, folks? Company message. Oh. Just if we were late or not, and we should have been good. Yep, just fine. Just fine. Yeah, so it's saying 33, so we trimmed off about a minute on our landing. Or I should say our arrival time. Here's my mod situation. My Airbus mod now has a Boeing flap. My Boeing 737 mod now has a 777 speed brake TDET. Under what circumstances is auto land used in real life? Online I see it's rarely ever used. So auto land would be, I believe, if you can't, it's the low ceiling, right? think auto lands low ceiling. So if it's under your minimums, I think it's when you can use auto land, or when you're supposed to use auto land. Did you see the Mozzazola Aviation at FSF? Oh my gosh, FSFO. I saw the mini Airbus setup. Yeah, I saw that. So let's pull up. We have some time yet. Let's pull up. Oh yeah, P2. This is what I was looking at yesterday. This is what I was looking at yesterday again. I can't afford it. I could fit it on this desk, no problem. I can't afford it. But I was looking really hard at it. I would love to have this setup. That'd be cool. I love all these switches. I love all this stuff. Combining this with the Mozza quadrant would be really cool. Man, this would be cool though. Ain't gonna lie. I got my switches here still, which I like. Right? That'd be so cool. Got the gear here. I don't like the gear. I'd rather that be on the throttle quadrant, personally. But what I want to bring up was, this is what I'm considering looking at. This is their throttle. And so I like, it's got 27 buttons, which is really cool. It's got the adjustable, so you can adjust where the detent is, which is really awesome. Really, really awesome. A built-in vibration feedback, which is kind of neat. Kind of a gimmick, but cool nevertheless. And then it has the modular add-ons. I feel though this is going to be more for like fighter jets. More for like fighter jets. And then here's the panel add-on. So we get, yeah, this has got the hook, flaps, landing gear, landing lights, launch bar. Yeah, so I don't care about this one so much. I'm more interested in the throttle itself. How much is this bad boy? $250 probably? Oh, $329. Jeez, a little more than I thought. So it's something to consider. I just don't know if I'll be happy enough with it. That's my thing, is I don't know if I'll be happy with it.
Contact Indianapolis Center 132.2 Delta 2822.
Dude, the base is amazing. It will move your yoke as per autopilot. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I think it was 30K. What? The setup? If you make a Boeing Embraer stick for the AB9, oh, if they do, then I will walk to Mozza headquarters to buy it. Wait, don't buy this throttle. Wait for the new ones that are coming. They have Airbus, Boeing. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. And I would say buy the WinWing Airbus throttle instead. Oh yeah, they got that one too coming out. Like conditions for... Okay, if I don't get the Mozza yoke, which is likely never going to happen, but if I don't get that, my conditions for a quadrant is there has to be a lot of buttons. There has to be a lot of buttons. And of course, also, like, if I don't get the Mozza yoke, again, that's likely never going to happen, but if I don't get that, I have to have a gear, you know, lever, have to have flap lever. I need something for spoilers. I need a spoiler for sure. And that Mozza one doesn't have that stuff. I don't know what the company was that was selling it off for 30K. I don't even know. I could get it. I just couldn't pay rent for the year. You know, next 2 years. That Mozza one looks really, really cool. It really does. I watched Mark's reviews over on SimHanger, and he had an updated one with the software, and the software's making progress. I still have longevity concerns. When you get something as complex as that kind of setup, the same thing, you know, that the Moza, the flight stick that P2 has, when you get something that complex and you add in gears and you add in motors, there's going to be something that's going to fail. Where when you compare it to as basic of a system as what the Honeycomb stuff is, it is very simple. You know, pulley and levers, you know, it's a board with switches, right? It's a very, very simple system. Very simple. And the only thing that can go wrong realistically is wires, right? Boards can fail too, of course, but realistically, wires going bad, whatever it be. And that's obviously the case of just poor engineering with the Honeycomb Bravo, but it's a lot less chance of things going wrong. I feel like the Honeycomb Alpha and Bravo could last me another 5+ years, probably longer, probably a decade, in all honesty. They're built well. It's a hollow shell. There's not a lot in there, but they're built well to last the test of times. You know, my Bravo needs a little bit of lubrication because it's getting a little cranky, but that's an easy fix as well. I'm so jealous of all the stuff you have. I used to have a Velocity 1 flight stick because of space on my desk, because I fly while working from home. Ah, yeah. Yeah, what I have, you know, my Honeycomb Alpha, my Bravo, my Turtlebeach rudder pedals, you know, all this stuff is just, it's taken a very long time. It's taken 5 years of slowly kind of building things together and, you know, being able to afford this stuff. You know, when we first moved to Illinois, I had a lot of excess income at that time because I didn't have any health issues and whatnot. So all that excess income went towards building a new system and went towards buying all this flight sim crap. And then, you know, things just went to hell pretty quick. So I don't have the expendable income as I used to. But so now it's just, you know, try to save up what you can or sell what you can and take advantage of selling things. So like if I ever got the Moza stuff, I would sell my, you know, if I got the Moza throttle quadrant, I would sell my Honeycomb Alpha. You know, I don't know, $150. I don't know. I'm not sure what they even go for anymore, but I would sell that for sure. Like when I bought my Turtlebeach rudder pedals, I sold both my Thrustmaster and my Logitech ones. So it ended up costing me like $100 after the fact, but I also spent all that money on, you know, the other two. So at the end of the day, I lost. It was a losing battle, but at least I, you know, saved a little bit of money on this new setup. Same when I bought my 14700K. I sold my 12700K. So the 1400 only cost me like $100 or something. But at the end of the day, you know, I got a lot of time out of that 12700K, so it was worth it. Then fast forward a couple years, and well, fast forward like 2 years, and my wife ended up needing the 12700K, so I shouldn't have sold it because I ended up spending more money regardless. Actually, I didn't. I had a pretty good deal on that. All right, top of descent. Let's see. I would just stick with all the WinWing stuff. Great value and good product for your money. Yeah, that's the thing. Irishman recently bought the Honeycomb Bravo and Alpha and Charlie, and they're all good stuff. That's why I try to tell myself I don't need anything new. I really don't. I need to go inside the damn Bravo and actually fix up all the wires and then use the reversers properly. That's what I need to do. It's just I need to not be lazy. Instead of doing a flight, I could be working on my hardware. Instead, I want to do a flight. I think I'm ready for my first flight on the Max with my Moza, of course. Oh no, my Boeing flap is broken too. I need to start my Only Flaps account to replace all this. My Only Flaps account. It was $1,200 for all 3 pieces when I bought the Honeycomb stuff. See, that's a steal. We're talking about a yoke, a throttle quadrant, and a rudder pedal set for for $1,200 versus with taxes and shipping like $1,000 just for the Moza yoke, or $800 for the flight stick. That's crazy. That's a good deal. You need new hardware like you need higher FPS. Rye doesn't lie. That's the truth. My system's done, though. The system is done. Barring any issues with anything breaking, knock on wood, I'm content with this system for a very long time. I'm very fond of this case I have. I got the Lian Li 216 in a black case. I really love it. I love the way it looks. I'm very happy with the 5080. I'm very happy with my AIO. The 14700K is fantastic. My RAM's great. Board's good. Hard drives are fine. I'm very happy. This is a damn good system. But yeah, Irishman, you're right. WinWing. I don't need the force feedback stuff. I really don't. I think it's cool. It's nice to have. No doubt. But, like, I don't need it. And again, I've said it a billion times, but I'm very happy with my Alpha. I have zero issues with my Alpha. It's fantastic. Just a little truck that keeps on going. I love the reversers on my Bravo. I bought the Airbus pack for it. Yeah, see, that's the only thing I need to fix. And then I can actually use the Airbus, or sorry, the Boeing reversers. It's the only thing I need to do. I just need to go in there and fix those wires up, and also do some lubrication on it. But why does Beyondatc always give me the same altitude assignments every flight? 1,700 feet, contact center, then clear to cruise. Oh, that's interesting. And well, you can change the altitude in SimBrief. You can change the altitude in SimBrief. So, un momento. So here's the SimBrief. Like when you're filing your flight plan, before you click generate, you can go on down to altitude and put in the altitude here. Sometimes SimBrief will give you some weird ones. Like if you do a super short hop, it may give you a weird 1,700 feet or something like that, or 17,000 feet. But you can change it to whatever you think is necessary. So you can always do that. So you can change, you can put in, 25, whatever. 2,500. It disables step climb, and then hit generate, and that's the new altitude that Beyondatc will have for the flight. It tries to do, realistic numbers, but sometimes it makes mistakes. 12 votes in, 83% out of those 12 people say, oh, whoops. I put in BDU. I guess people understood what I was talking about. BFU is what it's supposed to be. I'm going to try to super glue tonight to see if I can salvage it before considering only flaps. I love only flaps. It's a beautiful idea. Only flaps. I'm going to steal that idea. You want to see my flap? I'll show you my flap. That sounds horrible. You like it when I move my flaps up, don't you? I'm going to move that flap. It's just nice and slow for you. Oh my gosh. My FENIX is loading, no textures, like it's a skeleton today. Really? Like inside or outside or both? Yeah, the FENIX should be no problem because the FENIX is a third party, so it's not cloud-based. I know sometimes when I load into the init builds, it will load in all that stuff. It's not the altitude that's the same. It's how Beyondatc sets me up to my cruise altitude is always the same. Interesting. Inside like it's clear glass? What? Like it's clear glass? That's interesting. I don't know about the steps. That's interesting. Well, we done 2 flights today, and I got 2 different steps. I don't remember what the first one was. The first one was... Where the hell did we fly out of? Atlanta. We got 5,000, and then we got up to 18 or something. And this one was 19, I think. It was 7,000 and then up to 19? Or 15? I don't remember. Something like that. Lex, you have a gorgeous trim... a gorgeous trim tabs. I should do that. I should do a webcam. We'll get the webcam going, and we'll call it the Only Flaps. Not. It will just be... it will just be a webcam pointed at the flap. The flap lever on my Bravo. Oh my gosh. It's so weird, like there is no body or cockpit. I can only see seats. But it's only... Oh, okay. So, Matthew, that might mean you have... So, they did change some stuff with their liveries a while back ago. And some of the liveries didn't get updated. So that might be it. Yeah, if the Air Canada works just fine. Yeah, some liveries didn't get updated. Alright, P2. The next stream, we're going to have Only Flaps webcam. We're going to have, anytime there's a donation, it's going to be like the old porno music. Oh, yeah.
Center on 124.3, Delta 2822.
Oh, boy. Stream's getting out of control, people. It's getting out of control. First time loading in. Yeah, yep. Yeah, if the livery's not updated, then yeah, that does happen. Yep.
Kansas City Center, Delta 2822. Good day. Descending via Arch 2. Flight level 246.
Oh, we got some nice clear skies. Looks like coming into St. Louis. Air Canada. I would fly with Air Canada in APL. But Canada is so big, and there's not a lot of places. You know? Like, Canada's the same, like, the similar size to the US. But the US is so populated all over the place. Canada, it's like, you know, you have Vancouver, and then you have Toronto. You know? Like, what's in the middle? There's something in the middle there. Winnipeg. But, like, that's kind of it. We were all just talking about missing interior. My FENIX doesn't let me open the door or see anything in the cabin anymore. Oh, you might have... Oh, is that in this plane? Sim settings... Yeah, you might have cabin visibility turned off. Some liveries, oh my gosh, liveries have this disabled. So if you go into the settings, go to sim settings, cabin, and see if that's on. If you turn it on to if you turn it on, it'll be green. That might be what's going on with that. Might be, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Most of my flights are out of Toronto. You can do a lot of regional flights in Canada if you get the 220 and the Dash 8. Well, we need a Dash 8 and we need a 220. This is the problem, P2. We're waiting on those planes. Although I can fly the CRJ. It's Canadian regional, right? Don't forget Montreal. Yeah, I forgot about Montreal. But yeah, waiting for the 220 to do a lot of those routes. That's why they invented the speed ups. Oh, Vancouver, Calgary, yeah, Edmont, yeah, Winnipeg, Toronto, London. Oh, Waterloo, yeah. St. John's, yeah.
Southwest 557.
P2's just trying to tell me to shut up. You stupid American. You think we have no cities here? You probably think it snows all the time here too, don't you?
Radar contact.
Yeah, I want to do the Canada series. I do want to do that. We should start that. Okay, that's what we should do, P2. For the group flights, we should start the group flights with the next group flight. We'll start the Canada series. That's official. That's what we're going to do. Oops. I was right. The next group flights, we'll start the Canada series. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Do you think the BFU will actually release in August, or do you think it will be later after that? I think August is fair. I think August is very fair to say. I think August is fair. Again, like people are saying in chat here, Sim Update 3 is probably going to release anytime soon. Trademarked soon. Just like Only Flaps. And I would assume once that's out, stable, people are using it, so they can do some final last tests to see if anything's changed and been broken, and then they can release, possibly release the BFU. Can give us an India series too. That'd be cool. Yeah, I rarely ever fly. I think I've maybe flown out of India once, or in around India once. There's a lot of those areas, the Middle East, I rarely have flown in and out of. Very rare. Same with Russia. I don't think I've done a single flight in Russia. When my channel was new, I started a Cross to Canada series and left it midway. Yeah, I was going to do around the world stream, but yeah, that never happened. I was gonna do it in my GA stuff too. It's just like a billion hops, and GA is just so much slower. So you only want to do, you know, so many flights with it. Are you using custom cockpit views or default? Default. Just default. I have my own camera views for the instruments, you know? So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, lack scenery. Yeah, that Canada one's gonna be fun. I'm excited about that, actually. It's rare that I do Canada, and it'd be nice to start it now before the snow falls and, you know, all you see is white everywhere. Although the snow might look really cool on OLED. That'd be a me thing. And whoever else has OLED. Alright, we added on a couple minutes to the flight. Looks like about 4 minutes or so. Almost at 12,000, so soon we'll do the landing lights.
Delta 2822, contact St. Louis app approach 126.5.
Contact St. Louis app approach, Delta 2822.
I wonder why it says St. Louis app.
St. Louis app, Delta 2822. Good day. 11,000.
I think that's supposed to be removed.
Information kilo.
St. Louis Terminal Radar Approach Control.
Delta 2822, St. Louis app approach, good day, altimeter 29er tree, expect the visual approach, runway tree 0 right.
Altimeter 2993, expect the visual approach runway 30 right, Delta 2822.
Right, looking good. $10,000 landing lights are on. once we get on the ground, we'll take a look at what my next schedule is looking like with APL. I'll probably do another flight today, not on stream, but another flight at some point today. My wife doesn't get home for another 4.5 hours, so I could probably get another flight in.
Southwest 928, turn left, heading 005, intercept the tree.
Or maybe I'll take a look to see what's on VATSIM, and maybe I'll do my test flight with VATSIM. When do you think the FENIX Neos will be released? The Neos are coming after the BFU updates. I would say the Neos probably not until the winter months, US. So probably not until, if I had to guess, I would say October, November, somewhere around there, maybe even December. I'm thinking this year though still. Master Copy, welcome in. Happy Wednesday to you. Yeah, I would say I think it's going to be this year at some point.
Southwest 928, airport is at your 10 o'clock, 13 miles. Report to
Are the Neos? The Neos are going to be free, right?
Field in sight. Southwest
I think the Neo. I think they said the Neos are free. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. Irishman with another 5 gifted memberships. Thanks again, Irishman. We got Francisco, Tater. I love that name. Ben, Patrick, and Max. Thank you, Master Copy. Or sorry, thank you, Irishman. Thank you, Master Copy, for coming in. Irishman donating to the, I'm not sure what fund. Neos are paid updates, including the A320 and the 321. Oh, okay, they're paid. Oh, well, I'll get it either way. I love the Phoenixes. I'm happy to support them. It's wild to think it took me so long to get into the Phoenix to begin with. It took me so long to get into the Phoenix. I was just having a blast with the PMDG 737. Just having a blast with it, so I had no reason to upgrade, but... And the fly-by-wire is fine. Did a 4-hour flight this morning. Now a 2-hour flight.
Over to tower 132.475, southwest.
Yeah, we did. Our first hop was Atlanta to New Orleans, about an hour and a half, and this is number 2, which is Detroit to St. Louis, about another hour and a half flight. The 320, 321 are in the same package. Oh, nice. And they're gonna be reasonable priced, I'm sure. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like $30, which is a really good price. I've seen some people who have the FS Labs A321 250 and not all that happy with it.
Delta 2822.
Not all that happy with it. Non-Moza fund.
Delta 2822, descend, maintain 3,000.
3,000.
Descend, maintain 3,000 feet. Delta 2822.
All right, at XL 3,500. So I think this is pretty good. I have a really good plan. I'm going to do a fundraiser stream. I'm going to do 2 of them at some point. I just want to figure out the details first. I have some of the graphics set up kind of thing, but I want to get the details lined up. I'm really excited to do it. But I want to make sure it's executed properly to do justice for the cause. Causes with an S, I guess. Alright, let's see. There is the big old St. Louis down there. Do we get to see the arch? There it is, right there. There's the arch. It's so cool. Is this like a racetrack, or is this a horse track?
Lewis app.
I'm going with the
Southwest
horse
537.
track.
Good day. 10,800 we have kilo on board.
Yeah, I'm going. Well, no, maybe it's a horse track. Huh.
Delta 2822, airport is at your 1 o'clock 14 miles. Report the field in sight.
Airport in sight. We have the field in sight, Delta 2822. Alright, approach is armed. Oops. LS is activated.
22, cleared visual approach, runway 30 right.
Alright, 30 right for the arrival. We're going to exit
Cleared
to the
visual approach,
left.
30
And we're
right,
aiming for
Delta
November.
2822.
Localizer captured.
Southwest 537, St. Louis
And let's go over here and go to activate approach. A little hot on this approach. Let's bring out the speed brakes. Slow this puppy down.
Altimeter 29er tree, expect the visual approach runway 30 right.
Glide slope's captured.
537.
Speed slowing on down. Very, very good. Go around is 3,000. Do keep in mind with Beyond ATC, like you do need to be prepared for go-arounds. It does happen.
Delta 2822, contact St.
I've had it happen twice and I said no.
475.
I said no on both of them.
Tower 132,
Well, I've had it actually happened 3 times.
Delta
One,
2822.
I tried to do a go-around, but the Max wasn't having it.
St. Louis Tower, Delta 2822.
The second
visual runway
time-
30 right.
This other 2 times I just said hell with it. I'm not doing it. I refused. Alright, gear coming down a little hot. Your favorite ATC is trash today. Not going to say the name, but very disappointed. Not going to use it for a while after this flight. Master Cop, there was another someone I was reading about in another Discord. It wasn't Say Intentions Discord, but someone else's Discord was talking about how they recently tried Beyond ATC and FS and SI, and how they said that Beyond ATC performed better for their test flights. So another win for Beyond ATC. I think that's just kind of universal. It just seems to be that way. Most people seem to have better experiences with consistent experiences with Beyond ATC. There will be those issues that come up. It's AI. It's going to happen, right? But I think the consistency is there. I still will say FS HUD probably has the most consistent vectors and approaches between the 3 of them. But a lot of traffic down here. I'm talking about cars. Lots of cars. Alright, here we go. We had a 121 on the last one, so let's try... I'm trying for the same. We got to repeat the same thing, this time in the baby bus. Although we have a crosswind on this arrival. And a gusting wind. First flight was great with Beyond, fantastic. Alright. AP off. My aircraft.
500.
A lot of pressure here, folks. I was saying it's easy to butter the FENIX. Oh, high on the approach. Not looking so hot. Right now.
100 above.
Guess Southwest flies in here a lot.
Minimum.
Think rate.
Take it easy, take it easy.
100.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard.
Settle down.
5.
Jeez. That wind is something vicious.
Southwest
Holy
2137,
smokes.
holding short. Runway
Alright,
30
reverses
right.
route. That gust is something wild.
Southwest 2137, runway 30 right, line up and wait.
It was like carrying me over to the right.
Runway 30 right. Southwest
Alright, flaps up.
2137.
That's not a fair assessment.
Delta 2822, exit left at Sierra.
They left at Sierra.
Exit left at Sierra. Delta
We'll do November.
2822.
Actually, no, we'll go down to Sierra. Well, hell, let's just November. We're here. Right here. Alright, spoilers disarmed. Landing lights are off. Yeah, floated all the way.
Welcome to our destination. Please stay seated
Southwest
with your seatbelt
37 St. Louis Tower.
All right, let's see. I'm not sure where they're going to direct us, so I'm going to hold here.
Runway 30
Be
right,
careful when
cleared for
opening
takeoff.
overhead bins to avoid injury from items that may have shifted during
Fly
flight.
runway heading. Runway 30 right, cleared for takeoff.
You rolled out the
Southwest
319 for this flight?
2127.
Nice.
Reach our gate.
Can do it, so can you.
2822. Contact ground 127.55.
It was smooth. It was very floaty, though.
Ground
It was very, very floaty.
127.55, Delta
And it was off center line. But that wind was just kept pushing me over to the right.
Thank you for choosing Delta. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Oh.
To keep the plane comfortable
St. Louis
for
ground, Delta
remaining
2822,
flight,
looking to
please
taxi to
prepare
gate Charlie 30. We're currently on November.
earbuds for use on future Delta flights.
Delta 2822, welcome to Lambert St. Louis Airport, gate Charlie Tree 0, taxi via November Echo Papa. Hold
Echo,
short, runway
November,
30
Papa.
left.
Alright, so November, Echo's up here, and then
Charlie 30
Papa.
via November.
Papa.
Echo Papa. Hold short
Papa.
runway 30 left. Delta 2822.
Papa! Alright. I feel like the longer I do streams, the more crazier I get. Is that the truth? Or is I'm just crazy to begin with, probably? Alright, we're gonna hold short runway right, 12 right.
Delta
Papa!
2822, cross runway tree 0 left at Papa. Continue taxi via Papa Delta Charlie 5.
Papa Delta Charlie
Runway 30
5.
left at Papa.
Yonder on the
Continue
left.
taxi via Papa,
Are using
Delta
cabin
Charlie
announcements.
5,
So the
Delta
Phoenix has,
2822.
you know, you can use the Phoenix by default, the cabin stuff. So I use that. I'm using that. But yeah, I've tried the announcement one, and it works and it doesn't. It's inconsistent. I did on the last flight. Had it loaded the whole time, but we didn't get announcements until like landing, until approach. We didn't get any like taxi announcements, nothing like that. Very, very weird. All right, down to Charlie C, and we're taxiing to gate 30. 30. It's an add-on you can get in APL. It's an add-on you can get. Oh, you can use the cabin announcements in APL too, yeah. They're very generic, though. Is this Charlie 5? No, next one. Gate 30. I don't know which one's 30. Any, mini, miny, mo. Well, we got 28. There's 30. Alright. Found it. Found it. The longer I live, the crazier I get. Ain't that the truth? I should get a shirt like that. Alright, taxi lights off. Welcome to St. Louis, Missouri, where the weather is windy. Well, that was 2 really fun flights. Had a lot of fun. Like a truck. Alright. GPU, chocks, taxiway all connected up top here. External power on. Down below here we go to there. Make sure that's turned off. Turn that to off. Go to that. Turn those off. And let's see what APL gave us, shall we? Alright, just so that no one thinks I was cheating. Gotta bring it up here. Here's what I have on the next flight for my... I don't think I'm gonna do this one, though. It's a longer flight. Unless I want to do the 777 or something. We'll see. Alright. Oh, I don't have it on the screen. Hold on. I'm talking to myself. Alright, bring it up. There we go. Let's get rid of Volanta. Okay. Logbook. Alright, random disappearing act. My cat was playing with something. I couldn't figure out what the hell she was playing with. Okay. 98 on the score. What? Got ripped off here. Oh my god, look at that thing. Landing rate 329. Ouch. Was Volanta any nicer to us? $331. Nope, it just sucked. Okay, well. We closed today's flight on a crappy flight. Or crappy landing. It looked nicer, but definitely floated and then it kind of just dropped off at the end. I didn't feel it drop that hard. I really didn't feel it drop that hard, so that's rather interesting. I'm making an Only Flaps t-shirt for merch. Yeah, Master Copy, I was going to do KLM, but KLM doesn't fly the MAX, or I don't think they fly the 737 either. And it really limited the choices of planes to fly with, so I figured I'd wait a while to see what other planes come out, and then we'll do KLM at some other point. But I have a lot of longer flights here. I have Lagart. I got this 435. Nice shorter hop here. Salt Lake, Portland. We have Baltimore, Windsor. Another long one. God, we got a bunch of long hauls on this. Why did I generate this route? That's crazy talk. Look at all this. 500s in here. I can't be doing 500s. Well, I definitely need to save this Salt Lake one for tomorrow. Salt Lake to Boise. That'll be tomorrow's flight. And then Friday, we'll have to figure out what's going to happen Friday. What I like about this route is there's not a lot of Atlanta. Kind of all over. There's a bunch of Detroits, which isn't too bad. I guess there's only, what? I guess there's only 3 total Detroits. That's not too bad. I like that it's kind of a little bit everywhere. It's not just kind of keeping me in the same location. So that's definitely a plus. Now that... What now? Now that is a logbook. Mine is a log sticky note. I definitely got to say with the Delta now... Oh, I definitely got to say with Delta now, because you will catch me. Where are you at? So where am I? Okay, let's check that out. So let's go to... Yeah, it didn't look like 300. All right, where am I looking? First off, let's check the rating. I was 1 something last time. Okay, there we go. 187. So my next flight, I should catch this. I'll be at 186. Sergio, you're going to lose your spot unless you're flying today. And then I'll have a little bit to go before I can catch Dominic here. All right, and then we'll look at our leader boards. Delta, I'm 258 right now. Only 85 flights. I ended up with like 150 or something, top 150, I think it was, with United, which I'd say it's a fair number. It's a very fair number to have. But I'm also on the verge. I think I need another 10 or 15 flights. Where are we at here? 77.3. So I need another 700 XP. So another 10-ish flights. 80. Oh, what is it now? 10. Yeah, about 10-ish flights. Somewhere within that. To get to Captain Level 3, which I think is more XP, right? Which I think is more XP. Game mechanics, XP tracking, XP ranking, pilot ranking. Yeah, here we go. So Captain Level 3 is 80 to 11. Oh, maybe there's more XP. I thought there was more XP. I thought like the higher you go in rating, the more XP you get. Is that not the case? Huh. I thought for sure that was the case. Oh well, I guess I'm crazy. Do I have any achievement? Oh crap! Well, I just closed out of it. Never mind. I was gonna say, do I have any achievements? All right, well, I think we're gonna end it right there. Gotta go catch. Oh, I gotta catch you. Oh yeah, gotta catch you. Thanks everyone for coming in. A lot of fun. Irishman, thank you so much for the gifted memberships today. Much appreciated as always. Thanks for coming on in, hanging out with me today. Tomorrow, normal time, 9 a.m. Central Time, roughly around that time. We'll do that one short hop. What was it, Portland to Boise or something? We'll do that one, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do on Friday. Maybe one, maybe two. We'll see what happens, but we'll kind of figure it out from there. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do for today. I just got a notification that we are expecting some severe weather in this area today. So stay safe, everyone out there. Weather is pretty nasty everywhere, especially in the U.S., but be safe out there. And we'll see everyone tomorrow for our next flight. As always, thanks for coming in, and we'll see you for next one. Take care.